Because you keep getting distracted, Mystic.
I'm sorry, I'm covering all the bases.
We can't cover the bases if you're gonna keep cutting me off and talking about random events that
Then
no one ever played.
do it.
All right, Toad. Okay.
Happy Wednesday, everybody, and welcome to Wooper Watch. I'm your host, Mystic Gengar, and this is my co-host.
Hey guys, me Cyan. Woo.
Yeah, we're a bit tired today, but we're still doing the podcasting.
It's Monday right now. At the time we're recording this, we're really tired. Today is a sleepy day. I mean, we both mentioned it before the podcast, but like the bed felt so comfortable today. Like
it's calling to me.
Exactly. It's one of those days where it's like, I don't want to go to sleep because obviously, you know, there's a whole day ahead of us. We still need to finish. But like, the bed just felt so comfortable today that I just want to like sit in it.
Maybe the recommended environment for this podcast is to wrap yourself in a blanket, hop in bed, put the pillow down, and procrastinate on your homework even longer.
Right? I'm jealous of the viewers, actually, because they get to, like, chill in their beds, and we have to be in our, like, chairs and all that in our
I know, right? I want to record this while in sleepy bed buys mode, but I can't.
We'd probably fall asleep mid-cast, so I don't know if that'd be a good idea. Oh, also, so this is kind of unrelated. This isn't in the notes, but I couldn't think of anything to put on the Quagsire for this episode. So
I couldn't either. I mean, it's Pokemon based, so it's already a Quag.
It's already there. I
used Quag. Oh no, we should have done the Dynamax Clouds.
Oh, that would have been smart.
Darn it!
Darn.
It's too late for that.
Anyway, unless we like say something funny that could go in the next episode. If you have any suggestions on what you want to put on this Quagsire for each episode, for those of you who are watching on YouTube, if you got a suggestion, let us know, and we shall do that.
Please, we are desperate for ideas, which, speaking of desperate for ideas, we're going to move on to the news.
Oh, that's an idea right there.
We have had 2 holidays pass, although one's technically not a holiday, but it's close enough. Halloween happened. Ain't that crazy?
Woo. I mean, we'll do a quick summary. I didn't do anything. I was at work.
Teeth Magma Grunt. Yippee.
Yippee. Are you going to actually finish that series? Because I know you're doing a, like, Magma Grunt Let's Play.
I intend to, but the problem is that Pokemon Scarlet and Violet comes out ridiculously soon.
It's like Scarlet and Violet, and you have to put the outfit back on each time.
Yeah, I have it just sitting there. I need to put it all together and wash it and put it in a nice, neat pile to bring it out in a couple months or something, but like... It's gonna be on a long vacation. I intend to finish it eventually.
Yeah,
though.
You kind of dug yourself a hole there with the commitment there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Although the other holiday was your birthday, correct?
Ooh, yeah. It was yesterday. It was a pretty fun time. A lot of funny moments from the birthday stream / videos.
That Mario Party stream went so hard, though.
Oh, it was so crazy. I am Mystic. You fucking won by like 20 coins.
Okay.
I hate you.
It's just that funny. It's just that funny.
We had the same amount of stars and you won by 20 coins.
Does it matter?
Yes, I lost.
Good.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Okay, this next segment, I have no idea what it's about, so go off.
Oh, yeah, okay. So I don't know either, but Godzilla teaser, that's why I just, in the notes, I just said Godzilla thing. It is slated for November 3rd of next year. I don't know. I'm not a Godzilla fan. I know somebody in my server who is a Godzilla fan, who I probably should have asked about it. But yeah,
I like
Godzilla thing.
I like Godzilla, but I'm not like an active fan of Godzilla. Does that make any sense?
No, I agree. I watched the Kong versus Godzilla, but I like knew nothing about it going into it.
Yeah, I saw it in theaters.
I just wanted to see two giant CG titans fighting, you know?
Yeah, pretty much that's it. Although I will say, speaking of movies, One Piece film Red came out in theaters in America finally, and beat Black Adam, which is hysterical.
That is so funny. We weebs are winning out here. I call myself a weeb, but I haven't watched it.
I have not watched One Piece, but I did go see the movie because one of my friends was like, I really don't want to go alone, so I'm like, fine, I'll go.
Fine.
And I ended up loving every second of it. It was really freaking great.
Yeah, like, I know when I ask this, everyone's gonna be like, sorry, watch One Piece, but like, can I watch the movie without, watching? I know I wouldn't understand it, but like one of my favorite, like, I mean, I already DM'd you about this, but Amelie voices like Uta, the character like voices who like sings the main theme or whatever. So I'm like automatically interested because I'm a huge Amelie fan. For those of you who see my
straight
videos.
up though, I got bad news.
What?
The One Piece dub, it's like after watching the Japanese version, I watched the trailer for the English version, and the songs I'm pretty sure are still in Japanese. Just watch in Japanese.
Oh no, I know that.
Yeah, I'm just saying though, but the movie was absolutely banging. Even if you have no clue like I did, you'll have a great time because the animation was freaking gorgeous during the musical numbers. Oh my god.
I mean, that's just how it is with the anime movies. They go so hard. I remember watching Mugen Train last year. Oh man, that's so good.
Yeah, I watched Dragon Ball Super Broly with the same friend a few days later. I'm like, how do I break it to him that One Piece was like so much better?
Dragon Ball Mid.
Dragon Ball Mid, One Piece clears.
Woo. Oh man, we're gonna get so many people to beg us to watch One Piece now.
Yep, here it comes.
Here it comes.
5, 4, 3. Anyway,
but instead of that, we have to move on to our next news topic.
This is your turn.
Oh, wait, sorry. I forgot you were the host. I was like, are you going to do it?
We're still figuring out this podcast thing.
Okay, sorry. Okay, so Pokemon TCG English, I can't talk about it because I don't know anything.
That's why I wanted you to talk about it. First.
That's why I wanted you to... Oh, whatever. Just go. Way
to go.
Dude,
anyway, so Genshin is getting some card game, minigame. Honestly, I don't care about the game. That's up to Cyanize.
So yeah, I don't know too much about it. They've been kind of brief about it. They're just like, yeah, an in-game TCG is coming. And then, yeah, 3.2's out. It's pretty cool. I kind of want to talk about Genshin later because there's some things I do want to mention about it that came with the 3.2 update that was so good. But yeah, I did want to mention the TCG because Mystic loves the TCG. And speaking of the TCG...
I love card games. So if any of you recall the V-Star Universe Japanese set that was like announced last week, they called the English version Crown Zenith and it's coming sometime in January. So that's a thing for anybody who cares. Honestly, go look it up. The promo cards and stuff that they've shown so far are absolutely great. So, totally worth it.
Heck yeah.
Although, speaking of upcoming releases, technically Sonic Frontiers is out tomorrow as of this podcast recording. It'll be out yesterday when it goes up.
Yeah, I'm a little confused because, like, that's the date I had. I'm not a Sonic fan,
the 8th.
So I don't know.
It's the 8th, but the news, like, reviews and stuff coming out was the 7th.
Okay, I don't know what the heck I was looking at then, because I swear to God, I looked up release date. It said November 7th. I don't know. Yeah, for those of you who are interested, Sonic Frontiers is coming out. I heard it's, like, not the greatest game ever, but it's, like, good. And that's all Sonic can really ask for, so.
I heard it's a 7 out of 10 in a really good way.
Yeah. I'm just happy that it's at least a decent Sonic game. So, I'm happy for you guys.
Also, Pokemon Masters, yay, it's the Unova arc.
Woo.
I got Hilbert second try and Hilda first try.
Oh.
So, like, I'm satisfied. I mean, I wasn't even gonna go for N, but I guess I just have the gems for that now.
I got Hilda second try, and I almost went broke going for Hilbert. I ran out of multis, so I started single summoning like the loser I am, and I somehow got him in like the second single summon. And I was like holding my Genesect plushie the entire time because I'm a huge Genesect fan. And I was like, yeah, I got it! Oh my god! And I got him, and yeah, he's broken. He's broken as hell.
Yeah, his rebuff effect, it took me a while to figure out what it is. Cyan literally had to explain to me what it did. But I figured it out, he started noticing, and I was like, oh my god.
It's like a permanent debuff as soon as Hilbert attacks anybody.
It's the kill button.
Yeah.
If I get N, like, really quickly, I think I'm just gonna spend the rest of my gems trying to max him out. Because, like, if I could get a permanent guaranteed rebuff, oh god, please.
It doesn't really work too well in Legendary Arena, but everywhere else. Oh, man. And then as for the Unova arc, it's pretty cool. The quick TLDR, N gets captured and his 2 legendary dragons were taken away from him. Gets his reign of supreme is back. And yeah,
he is stinky poop fart. We need to kill him.
We need to kill him. He's trying to create the original dragon, which, spoiler alert, it's not going to happen because we still don't know what the hell it looks like, so it physically cannot happen.
Honestly, I'm shocked they didn't do anything with that in Black and White too, just that he was going to fuse them.
Yeah.
but he didn't mention the original dragon, so I'm shocked it stayed like as a mystery until this long.
Yeah, and now they're like, he's mentioning that he's going to attempt to do it, but we all know he's not because it doesn't exist, unfortunately.
Also, it's the villain arc. That means the villain loses.
Unfortunately. Getsus wins, imagine.
I want to see it!
Getsus wins, yeah.
Personally, I want him to succeed and then get killed off immediately.
This is a whole other video, but man, I want to see the original dragon so badly. Come on, give it
Getsus
to
is
us.
beyond redemption. I want him dead.
Yeah, it's true. He's a horrible person. But in a good way. He's the Kamoshida Pokemon, I would say.
Also, Pokemon anime news. I didn't watch the episode, so take it from here.
It's my time to shine. Okay, so this is actually interesting. And it was a little bit anticlimactic. So, everybody but Pikachu... Oh, I guess I should start from the beginning. Okay, so basically, Ash was... So, Rillaboom was brought out. And as you know, or heard...
The nuke.
Rillaboom has been knocking out Pokemon left to right. He knocked out 4 of Diantha's team. He knocked out half, like, a good chunk of Alon's team. Like, this Rillaboom is on something. We don't know what it is. But the cool thing is they kept that consistent with Ash, and Rillaboom knocked out, like, I think 2 Pokemon, I think.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was freaking crazy. He knocked out Sirfetch'd. I think he knocked out... Yeah, he knocked out Dragonite. And then Dracovish had to come in. He had to come in and save the day with his, like, little... it wasn't Psychic Fangs. It was it's like the Hawlucha thing that just, like, randomly happened in the middle of the league. He just has random Dragon Fangs hanging out that let him, like, just help damage his opponent. I don't know what it is.
Okay, so it wasn't Strongjaw or Lockjaw or whatever.
No, it's
okay,
just a
neat.
funny dragon gimmick thing.
Well, that happens then.
Yeah, so he then Dragon Rush, Ice Fang, knocking out the Rillaboom. Cinderace comes out and knocks out the Dracovish, and now Ash is left with Pikachu. Leon switches out immediately, by the way, into Charizard and G-Maxes.
Dude is not holding back.
Yeah, he was like, all right, I know you're going to lose. We ain't going to hold this back. I'm withdrawing the Cinderace. We're bringing out Zard immediately. And, like, this was the whole thing that the anime was hyping up for. So, I gotta say, it was a little bit anticlimactic. It was really short, and, like, it didn't seem as, like, crazy as they made it out to seem to be. And the reason for that is because Eternatus got so pissed over the commotion because, like, when the G-Max Wildfire and the Z-Move Thunderbolt, when they, like, mixed together, they, like, formed a giant, like, fucking hurricane in the sky. And Eternatus was like, "Grr, energy, grr, grr, that makes me mad." And then he, like, came soaring around. And now he's, like, flying around the stadium, and we don't know what he's gonna do.
Well, that is, not good.
Yeah, so we'll find out this week on Friday what he's gonna do.
Well, eventually.
Yeah, alright, I've talked forever. Your turn for the next bit.
Elon Musk pulls an Elon Musk and buys Twitter. Now everyone is panicking and freaking out.
I'm kind of glad we're covering this, like, on Monday now instead of Friday, because more, like, it feels like every day, more and more shit's coming out about Elon,
Every day it gets worse and worse.
It
oh my
somehow
god.
gets worse. I don't understand.
Can't the platform just be the platform? Leave it all alone. I
so
don't
terrible.
want to talk about it because it just makes me sad.
But for, like, the quick TLDR, basically Elon's like, hey, we got to give you all a voice, but you got to pay $8 or else your tweets aren't going to be seen at all. And you also get a verified check mark, which is kind of like, it's kind of works
the point of
both
being
ways.
verified?
Yeah, not only does it beat the point of being verified, but also if you pay $8, everyone's going to know you paid $8, and everyone's going to look at you like a loser.
Yeah, I know, right? It's like, here's the thing.
It's a double-edged sword.
If you wanted a greater mark of being, like, important because I paid money to use this website, why didn't you just bring back the animated profile pictures?
Oh, yeah, that would be so
Just pull
cool.
a Discord Nitro.
For $8 for an anime PFP, that's a steal.
Could be worse.
It could be worse. But
anyway,
yeah.
You want to take the next section?
Oh, yeah, no problem. We could talk about Elon Musk a little bit later, but that's probably going to be a whole other podcast.
I don't like Elon.
I know, the whole thing goes so deep, so sorry if we're, like, skimming over it. There's just a lot. You can go on Twitter. It gets political. It's sad to say. It gets a little political. It sucks.
Yep.
Anyway, happy news. Some happy news. Marina and Pearl's IRL voice actors are supposedly dating. It's probably just a friend date, but...
Okay, here's the thing.
Even if it isn't...
I saw somebody translate it. It's like, okay, this is the kanji used for, like, romance, but there's some situations where it's not, so it's like, it may be a translation thing. If it's, like, actually, okay, good for them. If it's not, okay, good for them still hanging out after the game's done.
No matter what it is, like it's just cool seeing them hang out, like because when it comes to voice acting, you kind of just do the job and you don't really get to interact with like other people usually. So it's just see that they're just besties outside of the camera and outside of the game. It's like means the world. And I was also like,
touch.
I don't pay attention to like their Twitters, but I don't know about Pearl's voice actor, but Marina's voice actor, she has like a whole YouTube channel. She's freaking gaming half the time, dude. She's
Wait,
like,
really?
Yeah, she's like a full-on gamer, dude. She plays Splatoon all the time.
That matches Marina, like, very well.
I know, it's crazy. I'm surprised I didn't know about it till now. Obviously, she's, she speaks a whole nother language, so I don't understand a thing she's doing, and there's no translation. But it's still funny. It's great. And she, like, has the whole thing about it, and she's funny for all the, like, things I can't understand. It's still kind of funny.
Though, in less happy Splatoon-related news, Octoboy, who I didn't really follow, but I did see this on my timeline a few times, I think there's some of his montage videos got taken down by Nintendo. That sucks.
Yeah, it sucks. There's a good the reason's not good, but I know why it's being taken down. And from Nintendo's point of view, they are allowed to do it, but it still sucks. So basically, there's this whole mod, because when games come out, you can mod them eventually. Mods become available as soon as people get their hands on a video game. So there's this mod that lets you take the camera wherever you want and try to find new secrets and discoveries. Sorry, Boundary Brick reference. But yeah, basically,
I get it. Very funny.
Yeah, I know. So basically, there's this camera. You can move it however you want, and sure, you can kind of do that in game, but not to the extent that this modded camera can do. And Octoboy, he basically wanted to make a montage representing the community. Using this special camera, he would download people's replays and use this special camera to like take some cool shots of people's epic gameplay and make a whole video for the whole community.
Let me guess, Nintendo was like, "Oh, it's the mod, take it down."
It's a mod. They didn't give a shit about the whole meaning behind it. They don't give a fuck that it's literally promoting the game and like how fun it is. Like it's horrible. It's terrible.
All right, last chunk of news, which will easily segue into the actual episode topic. Yeah, Scarlet and Violet have been leaked online. As far as I can tell, it's not just the starters. The actual game is out there now.
The whole game is out.
Yep.
Not everything's out there right now, but by the time this podcast gets out, I would expect a good more chunks of it have already come out. I already know a couple
dumping
things,
and
which I
data
will not
mining
say.
as we record is still going on. But by the time it's out, yeah, the game's going to be out there for you to go and find if you wanna. But please, just a quick little word of note, don't send me anything or tell me anything. I'd like to be surprised when I stream it, which, by the way, you should watch when I do. Just saying.
Oh, and please, this goes without saying, please do not show us the Wooper evolution. That's going to be a whole podcast episode, and we both need to see it. Like, we need to... It means a lot to us that we both see it.
Yeah, because I kind of wagered everything on whatever Paldean and Quagsire, the new name is, to be, like, my brand for this. So I'm hoping and praying on that.
Yeah, we're kind of banking on this Wooper to look cool. So, yeah, please do not... I don't mind spoilers personally, but Mystic obviously doesn't. I've seen a couple. The opening movie's already leaked. Like, it's...
I saw, like, a bit of the Fui Coco evolution because someone posted on my server. I'm like, nope, deleting that.
Delete. No, it's really cool. I probably won't look at final evolutions, but I do want to see mid evolutions because I still cannot decide on a
Galarian?
Still in Gen 8 mode. I cannot decide on a Gen 9 starter, so I'm kind of glad some things are leaking. I'm not going to look at everything, but I want to look at a couple things.
Honestly, from your description and the one little thing I saw on accident, I know exactly what starter I'm picking, and it's still Fui Coco.
Yeah, I'm glad that show up because now I'm feeling a lot better about Fui Coco. And I might actually pick him, but I need to look at the other two because those two.
Hey, at least it's made picking for the Splatfest, which is in a few days, a lot easier. So I think I'm going to stick with Fire, even though that's going to be the Little Timmy team.
Yeah, I haven't decided yet on my end, but I'll think about it. I'm still thinking.
Yeah, I get that. Although we should probably move on to the actual part of the episode where we're going to be thinking maybe a little more than we need to. So, here's the thing. I've talked about on this podcast a bit before about the great Pokemon debate, It's not the great Pokemon debate. It's literally just we both have drastically different views on Gen 8 specifically that we're just going to hash out today so we don't have to cover it again later.
Yeah, so obviously with Gen 9 releasing, Gen 8 is old news now. Gen 8, we're going to all forget about it. Gen 8 does not exist anymore. It's all Gen 9. So, of course, as one does, we're going to do a quick retrospective. Well, not quick. It's going to be an hour plus.
It's definitely going to be an hour. We have too much to talk about.
Yeah, we got a lot to talk about here. But we're basically going to just talk about our thoughts on the games, features, just whatever the heck. And, yeah, it's going to be interesting because, yeah, we both have different perspectives. I'm sad to say I'm, like, on the other side of the divide that happened when the Treehouse thing dropped. So it's going to make an interesting discussion. Mystic, I am sorry. I apologize in advance for whatever. We're still friends at the end of this, all right? I just want you to know that.
That's what we all say. That's what they all say.
We are still friends. I promise. I'm just saying this before we, like, fight to the death.
Oh, we'll be friends. I'll just be giving you the stink eye during the next podcast.
Oh, okay. Great.
All right, so we should probably go in chronological. Chronological? That's not words.
Chronological. That's a new word. Chronological.
Anyway, we're gonna go through it in chronological order, starting with the Dexit divide and the treehouse and all that.
Yeah, I mentioned at the beginning, like the first Wooper Watch episode, I was like, yeah, this game looks great. Everyone, it's so funny because everyone could go find that video on my channel. Look at that reaction. I was like happy. Well, you couldn't see my face.
I mean, to be fair, they did just show us a shiny new toy, and like when you see shiny new toy, yippee!
Yippee! You're so happy.
Wahoo!
And then actually it was a week, literally a week after that man, I don't remember his name, but that man came on stage on the Nintendo Treehouse Live to say some very funny things. Yep.
We killed half the Pokemon in cold blood and they're dead now and they're not gonna be in Sword and Shield.
They're dead!
Although, honestly, when you say that, man, a bit off topic, but I immediately thought of the Guilty Gear character, so I was like, wait, Guilty Gear? Where did that come into this?
Holy, okay, Guilty Gear discussion. Nah, but...
But on the topic of Dexit, I'm gonna be real with y'all, I liked it, okay? That's right. Execute me, burn me at the stake, I thought it was a good decision.
If you asked me about Dexit when it first happened, oh man, you do not want to meet 2018 me. That was, or was it, no, 2019. You do not want to talk to 2019
Oh,
me.
God. Dude, I was fighting people in Twitter comment sections. There's this one dude with a Torkoal profile picture. I don't know what he's doing now, but he used to constantly bicker with him. I don't know why, but it kept happening.
Yeah. No, it sucks. Like, that, like... Even if you're on the opposing sides, like, it just sucked for everybody. Because that was such, like, a huge, like, shift. And, like, no matter what your stance is on, you know, Sword and Shield and what happened, like, this game is a mainline Pokemon game on the Switch, not counting Let's Go. We're going to pretend that doesn't exist. This is a brand new mainline Pokemon game for the Switch that has never happened before. So to hear this news drop on a console that is supposedly stronger and that could handle like a lot of things, you know, it definitely changed a lot of viewpoints for lots of people.
Yeah, I can see how it would, but at the same time, I think actually playing through Sword and Shield and going for 100% is definitely the most fun you could have in the game. Because
if you're just,
the limited
if you're just
Pokedex, going for completion purposes, having only 400 Pokemon to get, actually feels like a manageable task. It feels fun to do.
If we're talking completion status, this is like, yeah, this is a good game. I have to agree there. I
never completed a Pokemon game, but I did complete the Pokedex in Sword and Shield. And the Olive Armor.
I can hang that on my wall now.
I can get my diploma from Professor...
Junichi Masuda?
Magnolia, Professor Magnolia. I was about to say Professor Margaret Thatcher, but I just decided to move on from that.
I thought the game devs gave you it, though.
I know it's the game devs, but, like, it's funnier that way. Being the end universe.
The end game. We're not going to credit the actual people who give it to you.
Because, I hate Game Freak. Grr.
So, okay. I like, at least for me, because, like, I'm over Dexit now. Because that's not even my problem with Sword and Shield anymore. I think the only problem with Dexit is, aside from Scarlet and Violet, which I can now understand why Dexit's a thing, and I guess Legends too, because Legends makes sense why it needs to cut Dex. Like, it just feels like they had no reason to justify Dexit aside from, oh, we have too many Pokemon now, and like, this is where we're going to stop programming them in. I think it was annoying with Sword and Shield because, like I said earlier, this is the first big mainline Pokemon game coming to Switch, and they chose now of all times to cut Pokemon.
Which, honestly, I kind of get because they have to rework a lot of things to fit on not a dual-screen handheld, but at the same time, I think it's literally just the same engine with some modifications. So, on one hand, this was a thing that had to happen eventually.
Yeah.
It needed to happen someday. But I just feel like doing it with the first game on, like, an actual home console wasn't the best place, but I still think the overall product came out good.
It was an inevitability. I agree. I just think that Sword and Shield was a terrible time to do that. And if they said they were doing that with Scarlet and Violet, I mean, I probably would be mad still. But like,
yep.
You know, I would have understood it, you know, a little bit more because then because they're just now over 1,000 Pokemon now, thanks to Scarlet and Violet. That would have made a lot more sense to do it then.
Yeah, exactly.
It just, doing it on the first, strong, you know, a whole console. Because the previous game, Ultra Sun and Moon, handled over 800 plus Pokemon with walking animations and all that. And then the next game, half of them are gone.
I mean, for the record, I just want to point out, if you did not play Gen 7 as a triple battle, you, and you're like, how do I put this? If you're complaining about triple battles or extra modes with additional Pokemon being gone, you did not play Battle Royales and you did not play triple battles in Sun and Moon.
Wait, triple battles were in Sun and Moon?
If I recall correctly. No, they were in Auras,
they were cut. They cut. But Battle Royale was the thing. That was the laggiest thing ever.
Yeah, which is why I'm saying, it's like, I understand the need to start downsizing the game so we stop having incidents like 6 Hoopa Unbound and 1 triple battle.
That was hilarious. That was so funny.
Listen, Hoopa, I love you, buddy. You're like one of my favorite Pokemon of all time, but oh my god, you're Unbound.
Oh my god! Wow!
Wow!
Is Hoopa Unbound the laggiest or Moltres? I don't know. I
think it's Hoopa Unbound because he's like 7 different models floating around. When Moltres is just a bunch of flame effects.
The flame effects are really laggy, though. To be fair.
Well, the thing is that every single Hoopa finger is moving at the same time.
Every single finger.
Yeah, well, yeah. The thing is that he has like 6 hands floating around him, each with like 3 fingers moving up and down constantly.
Kid named Finger.
Oh my god, no. Anyway, we're like veering off track. So the actual game itself. I want to know your thoughts first before I say anything.
Where should we start?
I just need your general overall thoughts on the game, ignoring Dexit.
Okay, because ignoring Dexit. Okay, this is okay. I'm gonna start with positives. Okay. Atmospheric wise, when it comes to Dynamaxing and the okay, not all the music, but the gym leader music and the battle themes.
Oh, the battle tower. Oh my god, yes. Thank you, Toby Fox.
So good. I'd say because the crowd cheering does add so much to the fights. I will agree there. It sent chills when I was playing through the game. So I have to say that at atmosphere, because I was complaining about that when it came to Splatoon 3's final boss, the last episode. Go watch that, by the way, if you haven't.
Yeah, go shill time. Go watch the previous episode to find out why.
But yeah, because I love that about Sword and Shield. The atmosphere, it gets the chills pumping when you're fighting a gym leader and they bring out their Dynamax Pokemon. They whip out the giant schlong, bro. It's so cool.
It does that. It's oh my god!
The crowd's just going crazy, and I dreamed of that as a kid.
It's the crowd going off. Yeah. It's that good. It's that good.
I gotta say, I like it in Marnie's theme a lot. I hate Marnie, but we'll get to that in a second.
Well,
but
what's the problem with Marnie? What's the problem with Marnie?
I'll get to that in a moment. But Marnie's theme is so good when you're fighting her in the Elite Four, not the Elite Four, but you know what I mean. The Elite Four, where the Elite Four would have been.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, I love that theme so much. The crowd cheering adds so much to her theme, and I love it. So I definitely. Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say though, because I kind of want to specifically touch on the topic of the Elite Four and the whole champion theming, which was so cool having it be an actual championship. I love that little detail, all the custom arenas. But the problem is that they still felt like just Pokemon gyms.
Yeah, it sucks. It looked good, but yeah.
Yeah, it was really an aesthetic thing, which, by the way, I think they nailed it out of the water for the actual battles. The problem is that it didn't feel like you were moving through, like, a championship circuit, but rather still just going from gym to gym, and they just bring out the champion part at the end.
Which is definitely what the Masters 8 was doing, so I can see where their, like, head was when they did that, but yeah. So I definitely say my favorite part of this game would be aesthetic. Character designs are also pretty good. I gotta agree.
Oh, yes, the character designs.
Character design's really good. And it sucks for characters like Marnie, which I'll get to in a moment. Yeah, you have some banger characters like Piers, who literally would be the villain, and I wouldn't even bat an eye. Like, holy shit, that theme. The look, like, oh my god. Piers
he was the biggest bait and switch in this game.
Piers is like my favorite, like, gym leader in this game. Probably one of my favorite characters of the entirety of Sword and Shield. I love him. I know this doesn't count because Sonya didn't have a battle theme, but Sonya's theme in Masters.
Yeah, Sonya. Dude, Sonya is a banger character.
Sonya's theme, Sonya's outfit, Sonya's design. I feel bad for Magnolia, but yeah, sorry. The old people gotta go. The new sprouts gotta bloom. Sorry!
Although, speaking of Sonya, Nessa is another fantastic design. She stands
Nessa's
out, like, in the best way possible.
Banger. I remember seeing her that same treehouse thing or whatever,
yeah,
and like it won over the hearts of everybody, even Etika. Like we were all just like, "Hello, my god!
Whoa! Yeah. Who is this? Hello."
Yeah, it's me. Hi.
It's a real shame she got stuck with Dreadnought of all Pokemon, though.
It sucks. Like I mean, God,
she does not match with Gigantamax Dreadnought at all, dude.
You have this banger trainer design, then you have Dreadnought.
Could we have gotten, like, a different ice type to go with Melanie and giving her Lapras or something? That would have been sick. That would have actually worked.
I was so annoyed with the trainers that got, like, Gen 1 Pokemon. Like, at least in Masters Bay got, like, well, actually, no, she got
Surfetch. She got Surfetch.
What the hell am I talking about? In Sword and Shield, her Gigantamax was the Machamp. I get it, it's a new form, but...
Yeah, and also, Alistair had Gengar, which I know I missed a Gengar, I shouldn't be talking, but Gengar did not need a new form this gen.
He has a cool Mega! Like, come on!
You already made perfection with the Mega Evolution, but no. You just had to give him a Gigantamax version that's just kinda alright.
Yeah, no, we just need to promote Vor. That's what we're doing here.
Like,
that's what it's all about.
I will say, though, I lucked out so hard with some of the picks for the regional variants this generation. Like, Articuno got one, which I didn't actually like that much.
That's one of the most badass regional variants ever.
Dude, yeah. Darmanitan got one. Although I will
really
say,
solid.
though, all of the regional, like, all the new variants of old Pokemon in this gen were really good.
They were pretty solid. Some of the evolution methods, not so much, but yeah.
Yep, Runerigus moment.
What the fuck is Runerigus,
Which,
bro?
by the way, honestly,
stupid.
I'm not sure if he was more TD... Yeah, it was so weirdly random and specific.
Yeah, it was so dumb. I did use them through my playthrough, but yeah, I was like, what the fuck is this? I literally had to look it up, which I get. You have to do that with some Pokemon, but still...
Like, it's just weirdly specific enough to the point where it feels obtuse. I like it when the evolution method is, like, kind of, like, a little bit obscure, but it's like, oh, you just gotta level it up in a specific location, like a magnetic field. I think that's cool. But when you have to have it at exactly underneath 49 HP, walking under a random stone arch in the middle of the open world area, what is that supposed to represent?
Yeah, I don't get it at all, man. It's so stupid.
Galarian
Yamask,
great, but what was that?
Yeah, I should probably talk about the things I dislike since we're, like, segueing so hard, and, like, yeah.
Oh, I wanted to rant about how cool the Gigantamax forms were.
I don't think that's a rant, but...
Okay, I'll just touch on Dynamax real quick before we move to the negatives. I really think Dynamax as a mechanic felt like the best of Mega Evolutions and Z moves. But the problem is that it felt like it leaned a little too hard into the Z moves.
I think Gigantamax, or just Dynamaxing. Dynamaxing goes back to the aesthetic thing I like. I like it aesthetically. Gameplay-wise, holy fucking shit. Nobody likes it in VGC.
What? No, it was fun. I like Gigantamax.
Nobody likes it in VGC. Ask anybody.
It's literally just the cheater kill button, but it's so fun.
But no one liked it.
Well, excuse me, but I like my Gigantamax shiny Grimmsnarl, and you can't take him from me. He's my precious boy, and I like when he gets big.
Okay, again, visually, it's awesome. Don't get me wrong, but like, it's so stupid. You get so much HP. All your moves do like side buffs that are like broken. They activate weather and terrain just for like attacking. Oh my god.
Honestly, I think if it was only the Gigantamax forms that got, like, you know, oh, every Pokemon having max Airstream? Yeah, that's a little ridiculous. But I think specifically if it was like,
Pokemon...
oh, max Airstream just does the damage, but the Gigantamax variant on, like, say, Corviknight or something, specifically is what raises speed, I think that would have been great and a lot more balanced.
It's so fucking hilarious, too, because you see Pokemon like Gyarados running fucking Bounce and Power Whip. What day and age would you ever see that?
I know, right?
It's so stupid. You would see Pokemon running the most stupid moves ever just to get those Dynamax buffs.
Singles, I totally understand banning it. It is busted in singles. But I do think in doubles, it still provides a lot of depth, and I quite enjoy it. So, I don't entirely mind it. Also, I will say, though, some of the Gigantamax forms were just really good. Like, in
visually,
general.
Yeah. Again, it's visually and aesthetic. It's alright. Everything else, no.
Although, kind of messed up, they only gave them to Gen 1 Pokemon and Gen 8 Pokemon, and then Garbodor.
Yeah, then there's Garbodor.
Which, I mean, listen, I love Gigantamax Garbodor, just to be clear. I actually think it's the best out of all of them. Well, at least of the returning Pokemon.
Yeah.
And, what am I thinking? I gotta say, though, I still think Gigantamax Grimmsnarl is the best overall. I think it's so freaking sick. I love that.
He's really solid. It's so funny that they did Garbodor. They're trying to make up for, like, Audino being the only Mega Evolution.
Yeah, I think that's exactly why. They're like, shoot, we forgot. Oh, God. Although I do think they kind of took the wrong message away from Mega Evolutions. People said they wanted Gen 6 Mega Evolutions. They didn't want all of the Mega Evolutions to be from the new gen.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if you look at some of the lines, specifically that were given Gigantamax forms out of the new ones, it feels like it was just the final stage of their evolution from the start. Like Appleton, for example, it's like, okay, you got the little apple to the apple dragon to the big apple. But, like, I feel like it just would have been better off if it was just a normal evolution. Like, same goes for, I was literally just talking about Turtle Guy, whatever, Big Bowser or whatever. But his Gigantamax form just feels like what his next evolution would have been anyway.
Yeah.
So it kind of falls short there.
Yeah. All right, I gotta take this away from you. You're getting like way too.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I just wanted to talk about all the good before we move it on.
You're like, hey, you gotta hurry up. You can't make these podcasts an hour long, bro. You're the problem.
I'm sorry. Take your negative time.
Thank you. Yeah, I know. I was literally hyping this episode up to be like, I'm gonna piss you off as hard as I could.
Overwhelming positivity ball, go.
Okay. All right. So, where do we start? I guess let's start with characters because that's what I left off on. Okay. Tell me Marty's personality aside from the smile. You can't.
I think she's nice. Also, she has a pretty interesting dilemma with not wanting to become the gym leader of Spike Myth that actually has a lot of depth to it and kind of adds a bit of stuff with Team Yell. But other than that, there's not a specific personality to speak of, just some interesting character goals and development.
I mean, it's like, I feel like half the development isn't even in the game. It's in like anime or the like the extra like card lore, you know, the TCG card lore.
There ain't no lore in the card game.
Or sorry, why am I saying TCG? Fuck, I'm stupid. The
Masters?
The league cards. Sorry.
Oh, the league cards. I forget that was a feature. That was a good little touch.
Yeah. They were pretty cool, but yeah, you got info dumps about half the characters because of the league cards. And it was kind of annoying, I thought. It was kind of stupid that some of the characters, like, I get for gym leaders, but for, like, characters like Marnie who just, like, randomly is just like, hey, I'm gonna fight you. You're my rival. Even though I've, like, only seen you, like, twice.
Wow, okay,
yeah.
At least take me out to dinner before you beat me to death.
Right? That's what I'm saying. God. It's so... At least B was a little bit better. Bede. Sorry, what the... I don't want to say B. Similar names. What the hell? Yeah, Bede. I forgot his whole purpose. I just know he was a jerk rival to be a jerk, and then the fairy-type gym leader took him away.
Yeah, which honestly, I think that was genuinely funny. Just seeing him completely change. Which is funnier because his ace was like the psychic type Solosis and then Duosion, and then he just completely drops him to go full on fairy type.
Yeah.
Which I guess because I think the Solosis was like in character, was like a gift from Chairman Rose or something. Which, I mean, okay, I guess it's like, oh, it's breaking free from the shackles of which he was dragged into all this. But at the same time, it's like, bro, is that Duosion just sitting in his PC box?
And it kind of works because the, I forgot its name, but the Fairy Psychic type Pokemon, it doubles as a past and future, so that's pretty cool. So I guess there's your character development right there. Anyway, aside from characters, some of them were good, but some of them were just bleh. I forgot about them completely. I don't even know what they did.
Okay, Chairman Rose. Oh,
what
God.
the fuck? What
Listen,
the fuck was Chairman Rose? You can't have an epic theme and not have anything else to back you up. You have a fucking dad bod, bro. A dad bod. How am I gonna take you seriously?
Honestly, I think the idea they had going with Chairman Rose, like, oh, okay, it's a billionaire so obsessed with protecting the future that he screws over the present. I like the idea. I just think the way they executed it was horrible.
I can't.
Why did it have to break up
day.
the gym challenge? Like,
I cannot
oh
wait
my
a
God.
single day. I have to do this today, Mystic. I have to cause the darkest day now, Mystic. I cannot wait, Mystic.
I know, right? Honestly, I think if they saved it for just after Leon, where you had to go up and fight Eternatus, that would have been great. Especially if they didn't let you heal your Pokemon, because it's like, oh my God, I need to go fight this boss battle now. What? That would have been a sick twist. But the problem is that you just stop in the middle of your Elite Four then Champion, just because, like, and you can fully heal your Pokemon after getting Eternatus. So there's no challenge to it.
This shit is straight up like what would happen in the... It literally was the XYZ, like, anime thing. Except in that, like, it actually, like, worked, and it made sense.
Because
and, like,
it wasn't
was, like,
gameplay.
It wasn't gameplay, too. That's also right. But yeah, and also the battle actually finished. So that's another good thing. It actually happened. Like, you know what would be cool? If, like, you just did Leon and you think, oh, it's over. And then, boom, Eternatus happens. And that's the... That actually would have been a cool ending.
That would have been sick, honestly. I would have loved that.
With the epic music and everything, that would have been a cool ending.
Which, by the way, Eternatus theme went so hard.
Yeah, Phase 3 specifically, but yeah.
Oh
Woo.
my God, yes.
Da da da.
Da
Da
da da. Da da da.
da.
Oh my God, yes.
And just random like howling and stuff.
Like that climax was great. I really wish you put that just before the league or just after.
I think like right after you fight Leon would have been crazy.
Because then you would actually have time to let it stir in your mind about what the whole Rose thing going on at the tower was. And now that things are done, Leon's like, okay, cool. Because imagine if you just beat Leon, then the thing shows up on the screen, and he's like, you're the champion now, it's your duty. That would have been cool. That would have been sick.
Congratulations, new champion. Just because I'm an impatient fuck, I'm going to make you fight this Eternatus.
Congrats, champion. You're like, that would have made the... Imagine if they did that to, like, twist the Hall of Fame speech, though. That would have been sick. I just hadn't thought about that.
It would have been a fake out. And it would have kind of mimicked Gen 5 a little bit. Albeit, it wouldn't be as good as Gen 5. But, like, it would have been a cool, like, just way to extend the game a little bit. But also ended on a high note.
I mean, the thing is with Gen 5, too, it's like, I would say that butt in, but it wasn't like, okay, we're just gonna go ahead and leave, and then you gotta go fly around the region to go back to the other town.
Yeah, it was
No, it
built
was,
up.
we literally broke into the Pokemon League. Go solve it, stupid.
And yeah, you can't fucking leave. Like,
And you technically still fight the champion.
Yeah, and you can, like, heal your Pokemon and do the PC thing, too, and Ends Castle. So it works in both gameplay and story.
Exactly. And the thing is, it actually was sick, because it was like, oh, Ends the champion now. He's literally gonna take over the region. Because that felt a lot more fitting, because it specifically tied into what the Pokemon League is. It's the final challenge. It's just that the final challenge is coming to you.
And it's been taken over, and you kind of need to...
Improvise, adapt, overcome.
Yeah.
But, like, with Leon, Rose or whatever, it's like, it's a pre-established location you're going to. Not like some new thing that literally just sprung up to interrupt you. No, it's, okay, we're about to finish this up. Hi, I'm on your screen now. What's good, bro?
Yeah. I also wish Rose... I know I joked about it already, but, like, the fucking dad bod. How am I supposed to take this man seriously? He has one of the most badass themes in the entire game, and I can't take him seriously because of that dad bod.
Yeah, I think his design is alright. I get where you're coming from, though, with the whole
alright,
disguise.
But that scene,
oh, God.
That scene... I forgot what city it was called, but the scene, the Nessa City or whatever, that
Yep.
whole scene... I can't take him seriously. I can't.
With the most goofy outfit I think I've ever seen. Listen, I kind of get what they're doing. It's like, oh, it's civilian clothes, but like, don't people know your Oleana's like your assistant or something? And she's kind of like right there.
Yeah.
What's going on with that?
If you're gonna make him out to seem like he's impatient and he has problems and he can't physically wait and he needs to solve the future now, why don't you hint it? And why don't you you're making him seem like this good old lucky good two shoes. I can't say words. Yeah. It doesn't make any sense. I don't understand.
As much as I think Sword and Shield has what I'd argue to definitely be so far, we'll see how Scarlet and Violet changes this. I think Sword and Shield has the best gameplay experience. Like, I wouldn't say it's like I'm not saying it's like the best compared to like Black and White. So the best is probably not the best word. But it's great. I think the actual experience of playing through the game is great. The problem is that the story it accompanies you with does not really match up. Like, there's so many team-building options. If you want a team in Sword and Shield, you can absolutely have it. You can build your dream team. The problem is that the story isn't there to fully support that. That's the issue. I agree in
that sense, but there are some gameplay issues. This was the first game to do the EXP share thing. And before you say anything, I think we should have the toggleable XP share thing like it was in XY.
I play with the EXP share anyway.
There was no problems with it. I mean, I play with it too, but for challenge runs and all that, it's really annoying. And I hate that in the interviews, their excuse for it was just take all your Pokemon and only play with one Pokemon. What do you mean?
Yeah, because the thing is, the whole game was entirely balanced around the EXP share, which honestly I really appreciate because, okay, let's just be fair here. Unless you're doing a challenge run, if you're not using the EXP share, I don't know what's wrong with you, and I think you just like wasting time.
No, I agree with it there. I just think it should go back to toggleable because that works for both parties. Why?
Yeah, exactly.
I've argued with people who said, oh, it being toggleable is a terrible thing. Why are options the problem? That doesn't make any fucking sense. Don't people praise Smash Brothers for having options and be able to choose the rule set however you want? Why does that not apply here?
Honestly, I think having the game be balanced around the XP share and then making it so you could turn it off would effectively serve as a hard mode. Because then you'd actually have to be careful about your usage of Pokemon. Because keep in mind, there are not a lot of trainers in Sword and Shield until almost the end of the game.
Yeah, no, because they were trying to do the open world thing.
Yeah, exactly. That's why there's so little routes.
Yeah. And also they relied on you using the wild area for XP. So I get it. I get it in that sense. It's so annoying, and the reasoning for it was so bad, and it just annoyed me, because they just do not care about, hardcore players, and it's just the casual fans. I understand, because a lot of people play Pokemon Go and all that, but still,
Though I will say, if there's anything that massively improved the game as a whole, the events were great for Sword and Shield. Every single week, it was a new thing happening with the raids in the wild area. That's so cool. I love that.
Yeah, I did like the Shiny Zero Aura thing. That was the only one I think I remember playing. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, when I checked in on Sword and Shield every once in a while just to participate in the events, the New Year's Shiny Magikarp thing, that was great. I have 60 of them. But wait, did you not know about this?
No, I dropped it. I dropped it until the DLC for both Isle of Armor and Crown Tundra dropped.
Basically, if memory serves correctly, the first New Year's after the game came out, what happened is that they started doing Magikarp raids that were 5-star, but they had a 20% chance to be shiny. It was 1 in 5.
20%.
Or it was maybe it was 1 in 20. I don't know. I think it was something 20. I don't know. Check Cerebi or whatever.
That's still huge for shinies. Holy.
Yeah, it's still insane. And they just kind of gave out a bunch of them. So it was created this fever around trying to get shiny Magikarp, which, to be fair, shiny Gyarados is already the least valuable shiny Pokemon due to Gold and Silver. But it's just funny to me. It's funny to me. Although, speaking of the DLC was great.
Wait, hey, I wasn't done.
Okay,
hey, you're getting off topic. Your ADHD's messing with you, Mystic.
We're already at the 50-minute mark. We're already at the 50 minutes.
Because you keep getting distracted, Mystic.
I'm sorry, I'm covering all the bases.
Goodness. Well, we can't cover the bases if you're going to keep cutting me off and talking about random events that
then
no one's ever played.
Then do it.
Okay. All right, Toad. Okay. Okay, so gameplay-wise, so there was many instances with the game that I just didn't like. I know the voice acting thing, that was annoying. with like
sucked.
Piers and all that. I don't mind it too much, but still, just do the Roxy thing. What the hell was that? That was terrible. Same with the intro for Rose and all that. Stop making lip syncing thing if you're not going to put like sound effects over it at the very least. Or just do what they did in Sparks of Hope where like they say like the first word and then they stop talking.
I mean, I feel like at least little just generic sound quotes that repeat like with Pokemon Masters would have been nice at the very least.
Right? That's all I'm asking. Like, I'm sorry. Like, okay, actually, for those of you who don't play Pokemon Masters is voiced. It is not 100% voiced, but all the characters in the game have a voice actor. I don't care what you say about the mainline games. They can be voiced. There are so many talented voice actors who are willing to voice Pokemon characters. Come on, Game Freak. What are you doing?
Not to mention that a lot of the voice cast, you can literally just reuse the ones from Masters, or heck, the anime if you really want to.
Exactly. Like, the sky's the limit. Like, I can tell you that, like, there isn't a single voice. I'm gonna go on a limb and say this. There isn't a single voice in Masters that I don't hate or think doesn't fit. They did a phenomenal job picking the voice actors for each character. They all work perfectly. Voice acting is not...
like Fantina, for example, I think she sounds annoying, but like it fits Fantina perfectly.
It worked. She's French, and it works. You know, same with like all the Galar traders. They sound British. It works.
They're British, which is exactly what you'd expect, so it goes.
So, like, I get why people say they don't want voice acting, but Pokemon Masters has proven that it's not weird, and it can work if done properly. So, I'm tired of hearing that excuse, and I know we're not going to get in Scarlet and Violet, but, like, Pokemon should really do voice acting soon.
Here's the thing. I kind of understand where they're coming from, though. Because when you think about it, Pokemon is a game enjoyed by people around the world, and it has, like, 60 different language options. But would it really be that hard to just at least have, like, a Japanese segment, an English section, and then maybe, like, Chinese if that's, like, some government requirement? Because I know some games have a Chinese set of voice actors.
And then you can just do subtitles. I think it's purely annoying when you have, like, characters doing, like, lips. Like, their lips are moving, but no words are coming out. Because, like, if they just didn't do that, then I wouldn't be complaining. But they're doing that, and it's annoying, especially when they're doing, like, close-up on these characters, and especially the piercing. I know it's, like, the overused joke for, like, people... I know. But, like, I know it's the overused joke, but, like, it's still jarring, even if you don't care about it. It's still kind of jarring when you first see it, and he does no noise whatsoever. You couldn't have done the Roxy thing from Black and White 2?
I mean, bleh. So close, but so far. Although, now can we talk about the DLC?
No, I got more. Okay.
My God! No!
Okay. So there were many instances in the game where, like, a Pokemon was, like, Gigantamaxing or some, like, event was happening. The game would always fade to black. Now, I get that. There's so many times where you just physically cannot do that in the game, you know, in the overworld. I get that. But it was so consistent with Sword and Shield that it took you out of the immersion multiple times. I don't know what it was in this game especially. I know Masters does it, but I will give that a pass because it's a mobile game. This is a mainline game. Why is it that, and I know I'm another quoting the overused joke, why was it that, like, during, like, the thing where, like, a Gigantamax Pokemon was just randomly Gigantamaxing, you know, Leon goes to take care of it, which, fine, makes sense, but then you see a bunch of people, like, piling around it, being like, oh my god, what's happening? And then you go over there, and Leon's like, haha, I'm already done, it's gone. But you don't even get to see the Pokemon. Where did it go?
Yeah, honestly, I feel like it was a thing where it's like, we just genuinely don't know how to convey this, but the script calls for it, so we're just gonna move along to save dev time.
Yeah, no, I get that. It's just, it happened so consistently that it was, like, getting annoying, and, like, yeah, there's a lot of instances where the game, like, was clearly rushed, and I get Pokemon Company being an ass. We all know. Pokemon Company does not care about Game Freak. Sad as it is, but... yeah, it just sucks, because, like, I can definitely see the cool parts of Sword and Shield, but unfortunately, there's just so many instances that just break the immersion. Also this funny bit, because I love talking about Xenoblade. I'm sorry, Mystic.
I'm just sitting here waiting for you. Just keep going, man. Just keep going.
Okay, so, you know in that one route where, like, the ladder or whatever, when you climbed it, the Pokemon chasing you would just stop chasing you?
Yeah, another nitpick. Which, well, honestly, I noticed it on my first playthrough, so it's not totally a nitpick, but still.
It's kind of funny. Though, I don't want to sound like a hypocrite, because Xenoblade 2 and 3 do it as well. If an enemy's chasing you, you climb a ladder, they'll just forget you're there.
So, well, that's a lot of games.
So, I won't call it a nitpick anymore just because, well, first off, I'll seem like a hypocrite, but also because it is kind of funny. I have to admit, it is kind of funny.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll end it on that. Sorry to drag this out. I just wanted to, yeah, because, because I told people I was going to be negative, and if I wasn't negative, I didn't want to clickbait,
Yep. Although, one thing I want to touch on real quick is the DLC.
Woo!
Did you finish the
DLC?
Crown Tundra? I don't recall you mentioning if you did or not.
I did. We can talk about this. I did.
Okay, good. Because, honestly, I love the DLC for Sword and Shield. I'm going to be real with y'all. I would much rather take a short little experience with a lot of polish and all that over, like, some grand experience. Which is, like, what the Isle of Armor in particular was. It was a short little Pokemon story, added a bunch of new Pokemon to the game. Not all technically new, but new to this experience specifically.
Yeah.
And you just had a good, fun time playing through it with some silly, goofy characters, just having a good time. I love that.
And also because, like, the main game for Sword and Shield was, like, sorry, for lack of a better word, mid. So when you get into Isle of Armor, it's not like it's any better, but, like, gameplay-wise, and I guess story-wise, it is a little bit better. You're raising this, like, Kubfu and all that, and you're going through, like, the trial challenge thing. Kind of like i.e., the island challenges in Alola. So in that sense, it's a lot better. You get to fight when you go into the Isle of Armor. You get to fight Clara or Avery.
Are you just recapping the story at this point?
Yeah, I kind of am.
Yeah, you really are. I feel like most of the people watching this either haven't played it or have it, and maybe are a bit too late to the party.
I think your ADHD is rubbing off on my ADHD. I'm gonna be real.
It's bouncing off and bouncing back and forth. It's the clown to clown connection.
We're getting clown to clown connection.
But yeah, the fact that it was just a little short story, which I think the stuff with Kubfu kind of maybe was a little stupid because it's like, oh, you have to beat these towers, but they scale to the level of your current progress with your gym badges, but your Kubfu doesn't, so you gotta level it up. That was really stupid, and I did not like that.
That was really stupid. Luckily, I had a bunch of rare candies because I did the dents.
A bunch of
still,
max raids, yeah.
That was stupid. That was so stupid.
It was really dumb, and I thought the Kubfu fell short, but the little character moments of just having something to do after you beat the game, that was really fun. I even completed the Pokedex and the Isle of Armor just because it wasn't that bad. I was like, you know what, I'll do it for the Mark Charm, why not?
Likewise. And then also from the Isle of Armor, we did get some cool characters. I mentioned them already. Claire and Avery. We pretend Avery doesn't exist because
I
Claire's
love
obviously
Clara.
Better. We all love Clara. She's awesome. She's
so, like, cocky and mean, but it's, like, in a funny way.
She has one of the greatest designs in all of Sword and Shield. She has one of the greatest themes. Not the best theme in Sword and Shield, but she's definitely in the top 10. I love her theme a lot. I just love her personality. I see people don't consider her in the list of dick rivals. I think she's one of the best dick rivals. I love her. She tells you to kill yourself, low tier god style. Like, come
I mean,
on.
yeah, kinda. I
That
think
was awesome.
what was that in the game? Oh wait, no. I remember now.
Yeah.
Okay, I vaguely.
I know Avery does it too, but Clara's more funnier. So yeah.
Clara's funnier
fans.
because she actually has a type that can literally kill you.
Yeah, and just like the poison just works so well with her design. And then Avery, it's like way too literal with the floating Pokeballs. Like, okay, man.
Listen, I like my girlfriend toxic, but like in a literally toxic way where she will straight up poison me and kill me.
Right? It's just like, I feel like
Exactly.
I just don't like Avery. I don't know what it is. I like his theme, but like, God, it's this whole thing with like Sword and Shield where like they put up B against Alistair. And then they put up Avery against, Clara. It's like, oh man, of course everyone's gonna go with Sword.
Why would I pick Shield at this point? What is my reason
Why
to
would
choose
you
Shield?
pick Shield? There was no reason to pick Shield.
Not to
It
mention,
sucked.
Zacian is probably the most busted Pokemon in competitive history. So you're literally handicapping yourself by not picking Sword.
It sucks, but oh well. So yeah, Isle of Armor pretty good. I will mention this real quickly before we go to Crown Tundra. So because of the DLC and all that, they started re-adding Pokemon again, which brought back the Dexit discussion.
Honestly, I think it's nice that they added in new Pokemon slowly through updates. I think that was a good touch.
It is cool, but it also, yeah, it's like, why did you cut Pokemon to begin with?
Well, because I needed more dev time to actually finish it, because I will say, I know they said, like, oh, it's the animations, it's all the same. I'm pretty sure they gave every Pokemon in Sword and Shield the new, like, sort of roaring animation for Dynamaxes. Which, to be fair, correct me if I'm wrong, please, if I missed something, but I think, like, all 400 Pokemon, plus all the stuff in the DLC, each got at least one new animation. I think.
If there was, I feel like someone would have said something, but I don't...
Yeah, because I could have sworn I'd never seen stuff like Steelix roaring before, unless that was maybe the special attack animation. But regardless.
That was probably the, like, if you encounter him in a wild battle.
Maybe, but, oh, wait, no, actually, maybe it was.
That's probably what the animations are, if you encounter someone... Because, like, you don't see it often, but, like, when you encounter any wild Pokemon in the wild, it'll make, like, a roar animation or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. I thought that was new for this game.
Yeah, no, yeah, actually, yeah, okay, it's not. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't think it was in the previous 3D games, but I'm probably wrong. Regardless,
I'm assuming if there is any new animation, it was probably all for Pokemon Camp. But yeah, it was just rushed, and so they just came up with the idea that we're gonna start Dexit now, and oh man, it just sucks. And then they added new Pokemon, not the new Pokemon, but like they added old Pokemon that was cut in the base game, and oh god, it's just. It was a tough time to be a Pokemon fan.
Which, to be fair, in all fairness, you could get every single Pokemon introduced in the DLC in the main game through trading, which is basically the equivalent of, oh, you didn't buy the third version, just trade for it. Which I think was a good touch. I'm glad they didn't actually paywall anything, because if you knew people with workarounds, you could go ahead and just get your favorite Pokemon.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, the whole thing is still kind of paywall-y. And like, actually, the funny thing about the Isle of Armor, there's no proof of it, but like a lot of people have like mentioned it. There's many instances in the Isle of Armor where they're just like, because like, you know how the game calls you champion if you talk to like literally anybody after you beat the game?
Yeah?
Yeah, well, in the Isle of Armor, none of them do. So there was a theory going around, and there's more to it than that, but there's a theory going around that Isle of Armor, and like obviously it came out only like 6 months after the base game, so obviously they were working on it then, but like there was a theory going around that like, hey, do you think Isle of Armor was supposed to be in the base game?
Well, I mean, the reason why is because you can access the Isle of Armor at any point during the story.
Yeah, it's
the mid-game expansion. You can access it after any gym and it'll auto-balance the levels to match.
Unless you're like over level 60, in that case they don't do that.
Well, I mean, it auto-balances to exactly what the wild area matches to after the champion.
And then they stop scaling from there. I wish it was like actually scaled based off your team, but
I feel like that'd just get annoying at one point. Because, like, I don't want to be fighting level 100s in the wild area, please. I'd rather not.
But if you have a level 100 team, you know.
I mean, I guess, but at the same time, I think a level 100 super boss would have been cool. But at the same time, I would rather not have random wild Pokemon scale to 100. I'm fine with them staying around 60, 70.
I agree with wild Pokemon. I'm saying, like, trainers and all that, and, like, any battles you were doing, they should, like, scale to your current level of your team.
I guess.
To, like, your whole team, not, like, one Pokemon, because otherwise that'd be terrible. But like, yeah, no, they did have the super bosses. They had the Wailord. For those of you who saw my video, I kind of like shit myself.
I regret catching him. I miss him.
I miss him so much. But also, actually, I forgot to mention that the Pokemon scaling is fucking terrible. Holy shit. Why is it? God damn it. Okay. So it wasn't a problem on the 3DS because it's the 3DS, but now that we're on a high-powered system. And, okay, it's just funny because in the Isle of Armor, you can, like, Pokemon follow you and you can send them out into battle and they're all just, like, scaled down for some reason. Here's this fucking Wailord, his exact size in the Isle of Armor, and then when you catch him, he becomes a tiny, small boy.
I mean, yeah, that happens, but I think that was a thing where it's like, if we actually had every Pokemon scaled perfectly, it would be a complete mess because... Well, Pokemon heights aren't accurate. That's the thing. And they haven't been accurate since Gen 1, technically.
Well, like, I know they, like, it doesn't have to be accurate. It's just, like, and this is, like, we'll get to in a second, but this is after, like, seeing the BDSP mods and seeing the scaling. Like, it can be done. It definitely can be done. It's just, like, you gotta put in the work, which, obviously, I think we can all assume that Game Freak did not have enough time with this game for multiple reasons, which sucks, but... how it is.
Yeah, although I feel like we should at least touch on the last part of Sword and Shield specifically. The Crown Tundra.
Yeah, before we dunk on BDSP.
Yeah, because here's the thing with the Crown Tundra. I think it was an interesting experience. I don't think it was better than the Isle of Armor because it was a lot less cohesive. But as just a general post-game with your fully leveled team and stuff, I had a great time with it.
It was definitely like a legendary hunt. Just throw all the legendaries out there, including Keldeo, which was a huge surprise. So
yeah, I didn't get that. I was like, I'm not tracking down on the footprints. That is worthless. I don't care.
It's not that hard. You kind of just did it if you were just like walking around.
Yeah, I know, but I'm not figuring that out.
What do you mean not figuring that out?
It takes a while to track down the footprints.
Bro, you don't even track them down. You just find them and you press A if you see one. It's not that hard.
Yeah, I know. I always pressed A when I found them, but the problem is that there's so freaking many.
Nah, it was not that bad.
Yeah, I would argue against that. But regardless, I would like to specifically say that the new legendaries being like expansions of old ones, I really like that.
Yeah,
that was like a cool touch.
Look, we all hate Gen 1, but like, holy fucking shit, the Gen 1 birds, oh my god, holy fuck.
The redesigns. Oh my god. They made Moltres from arguably the worst legendary Pokemon to one of the best. That is insane.
They all look so good. I would say Articuno's my favorite, but even then I love the other two just as much. So I can't even decide. Yeah.
I didn't like Articuno's redesign that much.
It's kind of funny. There's a little story. I don't know if you watched my video. This fucking Articuno is being such a bitch.
Yeah, I know. This is one of those Pokemon personal connection things because you couldn't catch it and haha get in the jar.
Yeah, there's I think it's an emote on the server. I might be wrong, but yeah, we named it Jarticuno. So yeah, we were like, stick that bitch in the jar. And we stuck him in the jar.
Yeah, I know you have like that's a personal experience standpoint. I'm talking from just design alone. Moltres and Zapdos are like a million times better by a long shot.
I would still say Articuno. I just like he doesn't flap his wings anymore. I know Zapdos doesn't either, but he's a Roadrunner, so of course he's not gonna fly his wings anymore. But like, just see Articuno just sit there with those cool shades. It's the shades. I think that's what it's doing for me. It's the Team Flare shades.
Personally, I just thought it was like a little extra in not a good way.
I don't know. I like it. I just love the idle animation so much of him just like chilling there. He just looks like he's above you, and he's just I don't know. I just like it. It's a really cool psychic type idle animation.
Personally, I think having to track them all down was the coolest part. Like, Articuno was a bit tedious, but having to chase down Zapdos in the field was so awesome.
Did you
love that.
At the beginning, I could not hear a single thing. You were like dead silent.
Oh, really? Oh, it says it's picking up on my end.
3 seconds. I was like so confused. I was like,
What I was gonna say though was I don't know what got cut out. What I was saying though was that having to hunt down the legendaries was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, no, it was really cool. Aside from Articuno, fuck you.
Yeah, Articuno was annoying, but having to track down Zapdos and chase it down with the bike, oh my god, yes.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. I mean, to be fair, Moltres was a bit black because you had to like. Once you figured out exactly where it was going to land, you already knew. Yeah, and Articuno was a bit tedious. So cool. But like,
and then they got unique themes too.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't just like a Gen 1 remix. It was actually a brand new spanking theme. I would have not expected that from the Pokemon Company, or I guess Game Freak, sorry. I would have not expected that from Game Freak.
Honestly, it went so hard. I loved every second of it.
It's so good. It's so freaking good. Like, I really thought it was just going to be just a Gen 1 remix. Another Gen 1 remix of the Wild Battle theme. No! It's an original composition. I think there's a leitmotif in there. But still, it's so good.
Probably. Although I will say, I also want to touch on the Reggies. Because that was so sick. I cannot get over the Reggies. The new Reggies are great. I love them.
Though I will say, I find it funny with these. I remember these Reggies specifically because of the way they balanced them. Because of just like, at least Regieleki specifically, like he was like so broken. So they're just like because he's the highest speed in the game with like 400 base speed.
Which is insane. How are you outpacing Deoxys speed? How far has power creep gone? Good lord.
It's absolutely nuts. So to balance him, they gave him like nothing but electric moves. And which is kind of ironic because he is one of the most broken Pokemon in the game because of his ability giving him priority on all electric moves.
honestly, it's just so funny to me because, like, you have two Pokemon that are on the opposite ends of the same structure. You have Electivire, who has a lot of great coverage moves, but not the stats to back them up. And then you have good old Regieleki over here, who has the best speed in the game, amazing stats, and almost nothing in the move pool to back it up.
Yeah, it sucks. I feel like that's Game Freak's new way of balancing Pokemon now. If a Pokemon has too good of stats, just make sure he has, like, no moves.
Yeah, and I also gotta give a quick little shout out to my boy Regidrago, who I honestly like more. Like, I know it's a bit of a hot take, but the thing is that the animation on his signature move, dude, I think it's called Dragon Energy, is so awesome. It does that anime thing where it's like, oh, it's a laser that goes across the ground and then boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
But, like, it's so
It's pretty
sick.
solid.
Not to mention, it
prefer
is busted. If you somehow get Regidrago to move first with, like, a Quick Claw or something, it's a guaranteed kill.
Bro, who the fuck is using Quick Claw in VGC?
I know, but, like, I'm just saying, like, if you can get it to move first, the amount of damage it does at 150 base power on a Pokemon with massive special attack with no other downsides? Like, oh, good heavens.
It's pretty cool. I still prefer Regieleki because he's just funny. Just funny. He's
Funny guy,
fast.
bounce up and down.
Bouncing up and down. Let's see, what else do we... Oh, yeah, Calyrex. I can't believe we were going to talk about the Crown Tundra without Calyrex. Yeah, so he possesses... I forgot his name, but he has a really cool theme. He possesses the
Peony?
the hiker guy. Peony, yeah. He possesses Peony and he talks to you.
And then he does nothing after that and nobody cared.
I think it's the first instance of Pokemon, like, speaking. I might be wrong.
It is.
Okay. In-game, I mean.
Well, at least
but yeah.
directly in full sentences. I think there was something with, like, Spiritomb or whatever, but, like, it's the only Pokemon to
Yeah.
actually speak.
Full sentences is like an actual character. And yeah, it's really cool. So you help Calyrex, you find its steed or whatever, you get to pick between the two. I picked the ghost form.
Everybody did, because Glastrier is probably the worst looking Pokemon I've ever seen. I'm so sorry. I don't care. He looks terrible.
It looks stupid. Yeah, we all went with Calyrex Ghost. And no matter what you felt about it, it was the best one either way. VGC, it's broken as shit.
Yep. Also, it was broken in the TCG for a while. Let's not forget that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Goodness.
God. The Malamar engine. It gives me war flashbacks.
Poor Ice Calyrex. But yeah, it was so cool because it was like the Black Kyurem, White Kyurem thing. I have a little soft spot for that, so that was pretty cool how that worked. It's just a cool little fusion. It's not literally a fusion, but yeah. It's pretty cool. I think it's about it regarding the Crown Tundra. There was the Legendary Raid thing, which had like an increased chance of getting shiny Pokemon. Really
Okay,
cool.
I actually want to talk about this real quick. I love the idea of it being like a roguelike Pokemon game. I think that, in and of itself, is a genius concept. The biggest problem is that the pool of Pokemon you could have gotten was so small that it made it almost impossible to play more than like 20 raids, I guess, without feeling like you've seen everything.
Well, it's because they want to hand out free shinies, you know?
Well, I get that, but at the same time, it's like, I don't even think there was that many Pokemon you could have gotten. Like, I understand limiting it, so it's like, oh, you can only get the middle stage of starters. That I can live with. The problem is that it felt like you kept on seeing the same 30 or so Pokemon every time. Would it genuinely have been that hard to just give me something weird like an Ice Cube or something like that for once? Just give me like Cofagrigus. Give me these random other Pokemon that are just the same middle stage of a 3-stage line or random 1-stage Pokemon that do literally nothing.
Maybe, just maybe, if Dexa didn't happen.
No, the thing is that there was plenty of options in Sword and Shield. Like, why wasn't Luxio or Luxray an option that you could have gotten in these raids? That would have made for... That's like a specific, just low power enough to perfectly fit with the structure kind of Pokemon. Why wasn't it there?
It's the shinies. It's not the actual reason, but I'm pretty sure it's because of the shiny chances.
The thing is, though, is that it's a Luxray. It's so easy to get.
Yeah.
If you had
clearly it's not because you want it in this.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, is like, if you just had more Pokemon variety, I think it could have been perfect.
Yeah, that's fine. Oh, actually, I do want to mention this real quickly. It sucks because Zygarde should have had freaking development during its actual game. But I love how it kind of like redesigned the concept of Zygarde into work completely with Power Construct. Because now Zygarde is like the fucking kahuna of the max raid dens with Power Construct. You get him below half HP, and the real boss begins.
Wait, no, they changed it so he comes out with the ability, right?
Yeah, he always has Power Construct.
Okay, nice. That's terrifying, but nice.
I'm surprised you've never seen those videos, because, like, there's people who, like, it's just the fucking big-ass kahuna. He is the final boss of the max raid den.
The kill button.
Yeah, like, every other legendary you can handle, you cannot, because Zygarde is the only one who can, like, heal himself, because, yeah, Power Construct does heal. So that's why it's also a problem. It heals, gives his base stats buffs, like, it gives him so much HP, because he's in Gigantamax form. Like, it's the most broken boss fight in, like, all of Pokemon minus Ultra Necrozma.
I know, right? And it's a cool concept, and I wish they just gave us more options to take it down with, because that would have been really fun. Maybe is that too hard to ask? I don't know.
I can agree with that there, I guess. It was also funny, because, like, I guess Volo kind of dethroned him, but we'll get to that soon. We should probably segue, because it's been going on for about Sword and Shield.
Yeah,
forever.
we're literally, like, I guess 30 minutes left to maybe the episode. I don't know. BDSP. All right, I'll go first, because I feel like my opinions on this are pretty brief.
Game. Fuck this game. All right, I've said all I need to say.
Okay, I'll be real with you. I think for exactly what its development goals were, to make a modern 3D version of Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, with the modern Pokemon mechanics, whether it be good or bad, it was achieved. I think it did exactly what it set out for. The problem is that it decided to settle for those new mechanics without double-checking on what was lost. Like, the thing is, the experience share. It's a double-edged sword here. On one hand, it makes the actual play experience of the game so much easier. You don't have to grind before going to Cyrus because your Pokemon are already evenly leveled. But it comes at the cost of the game still having the same levels of Diamond and Pearl. So it's not completely ready to handle that. The only instance of them actually balancing that is, if I recall correctly, the Elite Four and Champion, which had properly EV-trained Pokemon. That was actually balanced.
I thought you were done talking.
I was just saying that last little bit because I forgot the last few words.
You paused for like so long. I had no idea.
I'm sorry. Your turn. No.
I have no idea how your ADHD works. I need to like figure this out. Okay. Anyway, I find it funny you say modern because it didn't even pick the modern Diamond and Pearl. It picked Diamond and Pearl and not Platinum.
Well, I mean, yeah. Like I said, specifically Diamond and Pearl.
It sucks so much. Like, if this was going to be purely an HD remake, why did they not pick Platinum?
It comes down to a case of expectations versus reality. Because the thing is, well, I get everyone was saying we want a Diamond and Pearl remake. That does not mean we wanted Diamond and Pearl remade. We wanted a Diamond and Pearl remake with the benefits of Platinum. That's what people wanted.
Yeah, exactly. And it just sucks because, like, on one hand, you can remake Diamond and Pearl all you want. You could have pulled an Oraz. But, like, at least with Oraz, minus, like, the Frontier and all that, the Battle Frontier and all that, it mostly included a couple of Emerald changes, you know? It literally included all the problems that Diamond and Pearl had. It's so stupid.
The difference is that with Oraz, they barely left out things from Emerald. Like, I think Watson should have had his new ace and all that. But the thing is that the things from Emerald weren't so much of a dramatic improvement to the game. And even then, all the stuff that was like a big change from Emerald, like, oh, it's Deoxys in his many forms, it's Rayquaza and all that. They took the little bit of story that there was in Emerald and they retooled it, reincorporated it, mixed it with some elements from the movies, and then turned it into its own little sort of Emerald chapter, which I think was awesome.
It was indeed very cool. And then, yeah, like, I know people see, like, they look at Diamond and Pearl and Platinum and they're just like, there is no way Platinum was that much an improvement. Oh, I'll tell you. You play base Diamond and Pearl right now, I will tell you right now, in some ways, it might be worse than BDSP. Just because of aging and all that. And
yes, like, because, oh my god, the thing is with Diamond and Pearl is that no matter how many times you remake it, it's still gonna feel slow.
It still sucks. It's still slow. You barely have any Pokemon to pick from. You'll only see fucking, what was the regional rodent of this? Why did I forget all of a sudden? I'm stupid.
I'm drawing a blank too. Stunky? No.
Yeah, Why can I not remember? I see them all the time.
Bidoof,
and somehow
Bidoof.
Yeah, Bidoof. You'll just see a fuck ton of Bidoofs and Starlies, and that's all you fucking see. But thanks to Platinum, that was all fixed, and they decided to completely ignore that because we had to be faithful. We had to represent Diamond and Pearl. We cannot perfect Diamond and Pearl. It's perfect as is.
All they needed to do was take the exclusives from Diamond and Pearl, kept them exclusive, and then sprinkled in the new Pokemon for Platinum and maybe divvy them up a little bit. Like, you know how they split up, Magby and Elekid between the versions? Even though I think they were both in Platinum. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But they took them and they split them up between the versions again. That, I think, would have been a fine thing to do. I'm okay with it not being the definitive version. But what they needed to do was keep the new team compositions and new Wild Route Pokemon at all.
Yeah.
So then they could actually have the proper, updated, more balanced and diverse version.
Yeah. It just sucks because, like, you know what? Fine. I can accept that they don't want to make, a whole different thing like Oraz was. Like, fine. Whatever. It's a whole new studio. Whatever. Do whatever you want. But it's just the fact that you picked an inferior version to do this all on, and you kept those changes, and you made some things even worse. And it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I feel like what they set out to do, they accomplished. The problem is that their goal at the start was inherently flawed. That's my take on the game.
Yeah.
I think it's still a perfectly functional version, and probably the best way if you want to play Diamond and Pearl specifically.
If you somehow don't have access to a PC and can't emulate it, which...
Yeah. I mean, if you just want to play the games and you don't want to go through the effort of getting a PC or whatever for that, I think they work perfectly fine. I think they serve the purpose of introducing Sinnoh to a modern audience. Blah. But yeah.
In that sense, if that was their goal, I guess congrats, you did it. I'm really salty this game sold 15 million units. Are you fucking kidding me? That is insanity. And it won an award for, like, best art direction. Are you fucking kidding me?
Ridiculous. Honestly, I think the game, like I said, it sets out and does exactly what it wanted to do with the art direction. The problem is that it's exactly nothing new.
It just sucks. It sucks so badly. I'm so glad I didn't buy it myself and I got it offhand. Because I feel like a lot of people were making fun of me for judging it without playing it. I did play it. And I'm telling you right now, do not fucking get this game. It doesn't, like, come on, dude. You want to support Pokemon, just get Scarlet and Violet.
Personally,
please.
I think getting it, because I've seen it for literally half off at Best Buy so many times. I think that is the perfect price for this game. $30, if you want to just go and replay Sinnoh, I think it's worth it. Just for, have a little bit of a different experience, explore the Grand Underground, have your fun, but don't buy it for full price.
This game should be $30. God.
I think $30 if it launched at that, it would have been a perfect price point.
I think a lot of people, including myself, wouldn't have complained as much if it was $30.
Exactly. Although, you know what was worth the $60? Legends Arceus.
Finally, we're talking about good video games. Oh my god.
We finally get to talk about, well, I mean, the DLC was good. But still,
yeah.
Arceus, I think this was the best send-off you could have asked for Gen 8.
Definitely. I'm going to get negatives out of the way real quickly so we can just go full in. Visually, it sucks ass. Holy fuck. Why does it look so ugly?
I don't think it was that bad. The thing is, I think that it was just kind of... How do I put this? It could have looked
better.
It's really
mushy.
But in terms of,
really
like...
mushy.
Yeah, it looked really mushy. But the thing is that it still conveyed all, like, the elements that it needed to. And I gotta say, the HUD elements and stuff, very nice. The problem is that there just wasn't a lot of depth or texture to the actual landscape.
Yeah, there's a lot of, like, at least there's no more popping anymore, thank God. I didn't mention that in the Sword and Shield section. Fuck. But yeah, there was popping in that game.
It was fading,
but luckily it's...
in this game.
Yeah, now it's fading. Thank you! Holy moly.
It's a little change, but it means a lot in the long run.
Definitely. I will say, I've struggled with making YouTube thumbnails before. In terms of, like, visual aesthetic, though, Legends Arceus was the only game I've ever struggled with, because holy shit, it is so pixelated. I don't... Oh my god. It's a mess. I'm just glad Scarlet and Violet's kind of getting its act together. It's not the best visual game on the Switch, and it will probably never be. Pokemon, sadly, I don't think it's ever going to hit that mark. Unfortunately, but Legends Arceus, like, whew.
You know,
I'm just glad Scarlet and Violet's improving.
Specific thought, but I know they've been specifically toning down the outlines on Pokemon with Gen 8. I probably should have mentioned this during Sword and Shield. And I know there is, like, literally none of them in Scarlet and Violet, but I kind of do miss the slight outline they give characters on 3DS. I think that was a good
Yeah.
touch that made things stand out visually from the background. Which, I get it, it's like, oh, it's the lower handheld console thing, and they're trying to avoid that trope or whatever, but I think it would have made things stick out a lot better.
You definitely, like, and I'm just going to call it stroke because Photoshop terms and all that, but, like, yeah, like, I think just having a slight stroke on some things could go the long mile to making things a lot clearer to the player and not make things look mushy. Now, am I saying to put strokes on trees? No, please do not put outlines on trees. That's
Nope.
gonna look weird.
I just mean, like, the characters
yeah.
in Pokemon themselves. Maybe some specific,
Yeah.
like, interesting items. Give them, like, a small little bit of an outline so you can tell where their body ends and the background begins.
Yeah. And then one more negative, and then we can just gush on this game. When you get Braviary and you start being able to, like, see the landscape, yeah, they did not accommodate for that. They did not realize that you would get as high as you could, and looks kind of disgusting outside of the region.
Yeah, I think it looks pretty good, especially on, like, the title screenshots. But at the same time, when
Yeah,
you're just
I
kind of
agree there.
moving around, you can kind of see, like, oh, there's not too much going on here.
Yeah, alright. I'm done with negatives. Let's gush. This is a good game. I can't wait.
Literally the most fun I've had playing a Pokemon game in ages. It's top 3.
is
It's
such
top
a
3.
good
I
game.
genuinely think it's top 3.
It's so different, and that definitely works to its benefit. Like, you start out with 3 starters from 3 completely different regions, and they all have a brand new final Evo. That is so cool.
That is just a cool concept. That's like a fan game sounding concept, and yet it works.
It works. It definitely does. It expands the lore of Sinnoh. You know, we were bitching about how BDSP wasn't like Oraz. This would technically be our Oraz. You know, it adds so much to the Sinnoh lore, and it's so awesome.
This is basically the Oraz, yeah. It feels
Yeah,
more
it
like a
literally-
remake, honestly.
Like an
I
old
think
remake,
Discord
yeah.
bugged. Weird.
Yeah, Discord bugged on
Yeah, I
your
was gonna
end.
say,
God,
Discord just
what is
bugged.
with your connection, bro?
Great timing. Great
the-
timing.
Great timing.
But regardless, I feel like it still retreads a lot of the same similar beats. Like, you can still tell the same plot elements. Okay, Dialga and Palkia going mad at Spear Pillar with the red chain. But it's reframed and recontextualized in such an interesting, different way that I can't help but love it.
Obviously, it was advertised like that, but in this era, people don't like Pokemon as much. We're not close to them like we are in the modern day. So, you're in an era where people will tell you you will die if you aren't careful. When was the last time a mainline Pokemon game threatened you would be killed if you were not careful?
If I recall correctly, X and Y, and also Sun and Moon.
Oh, wait, shit. Yeah, wait.
I think there was like some warnings about Ultra Beast, and there was like a press the button. I mean, I'm just saying.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
just saying. There were some moments
okay.
of life or death.
Okay, you did. Okay, I forgot about those. But, like, yeah, obviously, like, the game makes it clear to you from the very beginning that these Pokemon are evil. They are mean. These are wild beasts you're fighting.
And then Volo shows up and is like, "Yo, bro, you like my Togepi?"
Hey, bro.
Hey, bro, thoughts on
he's
Togepi
also-
right here?
Yeah, I like my Togepi. I like how his, like, picture next to, like, the picture area, he's, like, always there with his Togepi, which is really funny for what happens at the end game.
Which, by the way, I almost want to gush entirely about Volo, because everything about him, oh my god, he's
Yeah.
the best character
Wait,
in ages.
Let's get to it. Let's get to it at the end.
Ah,
because,
you're killing
we need
me.
to- we gotta talk about the game itself.
The game itself, I want to talk about gameplay specifically and how it changed up the formula.
Wait. Actually, wait. Sorry, I don't want to interrupt. We gotta talk about Commander Kamado, bro.
It is I, Commander Kamado, and I am making an obligatory appearance on this podcast. Ha ha!
Let's go, Commander Kamado.
Okay, I got out of the way.
Commander Kamado,
Anyway,
continue.
I want to talk about specifically the gameplay. It adds like just a bit of a touch of action flair. That is exactly what Pokemon needed.
You can roll.
The fact that they added just a lot more seamlessness to it is wonderful. I really like that. There's no like long animation when you throw your Pokemon. Just a little snap, battle starts. That is great.
Battle starts instantly. Sadly, I think Scarlet Violet's kind of like removing it a little bit.
Well, we do have auto
which
battle
sucks.
now.
Yeah, so I guess one soul for another. But yeah, in Legends Arceus, it's freaking seamless. It's awesome. The whole game is practically seamless. It kind of works like Monster Hunter. There's like, I think 5 areas. I might be
There's
wrong.
there's
five-
exactly like 5 areas which you can move between. There's only a loading screen moving between the big areas. Other than that, it's completely open.
There's 5 big open world areas, and then your hometown, Jubilife. Funny how Jubilife is like not a town, not like a huge city or whatever. It's just a little village. Really cool. But yeah, you have 5 giant areas you can explore, down from like, you know, the icy mountains, a beach, a swamplands, you know, grasslands. You know, you got your Mario World levels.
Ice!
How would it be? I did say ice.
Iceberg.
I did say it.
Iceberg. I'm kidding. Whatever. But yeah, I was gonna say the actual environments are like, they're pretty nice. There's a lot you can go between.
Definitely. And it's so cool because, like, then you also have this new edition of the, I forgot what they're called, but it's the giant Pokemon.
The alphas?
Yeah, I think that's what it's called. It's been a minute.
Just the
But
random
they came out,
bosses,
like,
just the random big bad bosses in the overworld. I love those. That's such a cool idea.
It's so cool. It kind of brings back Totem Pokemon a little bit. I forgot those existed until I remembered just now. But yeah, it kind of brings back Totem Pokemon and makes them like scary.
Well, that's more noble Pokemon.
They're higher leveled. They obviously do more damage. They are bigger in appearance, so when you catch them, you can have a big boy in your
And
team.
they are not afraid to kill you in cold blood.
Definitely. I caught the Snorlax at the first area, and he was on my team the entire game. Yeah, I thought that was super cool.
I actually did not catch any alpha Pokemon until the last area where I found an alpha Luxray. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to take my old Luxray off, and we're just going to say that you got really big through a transformation. And that's going to be the lore for this. That's it.
Woohoo!
I now have an alpha Pokemon of my own.
Yes, sir.
That's how I did it.
Oh, actually, if we're sharing Pokemon stories, I found a shiny Yanma like during the second area of the game, and I caught it, and he was on my team for the entire time. I had a shiny Yanmega on my team.
Honestly, nothing was funnier than after finishing the game and I was doing like post-game side quests and stuff. I was like, wouldn't it be funny if we just found a shiny right now? And then a shiny Buizel showed up.
What? And then,
I was
Soy
like,
Jack.
the thing is that I sometimes think that to myself in my head, trying to replicate that moment again, but it's not happened yet.
It's not gonna happen anytime soon, but yeah. I wonder if like they have the shiny effect, like the shiny, like the way the shinies work in Legends.
The little
like,
shiver.
I love how that works.
They do show up in the overworld. They do show up in the overworld in Scarlet and Violet. Cerebi Joe confirmed.
Which is perfect. Which is perfect. Yeah, so I'm like wondering, is it gonna work exactly like Legends, where you just hear it and you'll be like, you have to be like Spungar, and you gotta find it.
You know, I almost kind of wish they didn't have that, because then I wouldn't consciously know that I saw that shiny Combee run away from me. Because I couldn't get off the freaking deer in time because I was too excited.
Wait. Was it a female?
No, it was a male. It was a male Combee. I checked the footage and it didn't have the triangle.
Okay, so it was
and nothing of value was lost.
Exactly. You don't have to feel bad about it.
Because if it was a shiny Vespiquen, that would have been so cool. But no.
It was a male Combee.
And it ran away instantly. Which, by the way, a little annoying, but hey, I can live with it.
Oh well. But yeah, it's just so cool. Like, Pokemon show up wherever. You can find alpha Pokemon randomly. You can find shinies. You can find different Hisuian Pokemon. There was a bunch of Hisuian forms.
Oh, the Hisuian forms were so cool. I love the concept of that.
Not all of them look that great, but I will say I love how so when you get to like the shrine or whatever, before it was called Spear Pillar.
Yeah, I love that detail, because there's a little statue of all of them, and they get blown off when everything happens.
Yeah, I know. Okay, it's just like, because like you were just wondering, it's just like, why are these old regional forms, and why were they never in Gen 4?
And then you see them get blown to pieces.
That's why they weren't there. And then it creates the spears in Spear Pillar.
Wow,
it's so cool.
It's the funny, it's the reference. Oh my gosh. Although
there's a reason like there's a huge reason why I like Black and White too, and this game kind of does that in the prequel sense. It's awesome.
The continuity, yeah. Although I will say, the one thing that I felt like I would have been a little more interesting if they did go through with it, I don't think there was a single Pokemon other than Braviary that was after Gen 4, right? Oh, no, Avalugg, too. Avalugg also.
Yeah, there was Goodra, too.
Yeah, and Goodra. But none of the regular forms of those Pokemon appeared in the wild. I kind of get why, but at the same time, it would have been also Basculin.
Basculin too. Actually, I think all of them didn't have their original forms.
Yeah, none of them had their original forms, but like I was kind of hoping to at least see a few Pokemon that were just like the regular forms show up in Ancient Sinnoh. It's like, oh, they eventually migrated out because the temperature was bad or something. I think that would have been a cool little detail. But at the same time, it's so cool to seeing these newer Pokemon, specifically in the style of the old games. I kind of love that. Well, they weren't in the style of the old games, but in like the olden times.
They'll definitely show up in Scarlet and Violet at the very least.
Yeah, like, I know we're gonna finally get to see Hisuian Zoroark in a competitive area, which is gonna be amazing, considering it's a Ghost Normal type. But at the same time,
actually,
it's like, we'll see.
Actually, on the topic of Hisuian Zoroark, I love it, but also fuck it. Why was that at the end of the game? Holy shit. Everyone wanted it on their team, and it was at the end of the game. It was so annoying.
I appreciate them giving us a guaranteed alpha, but at the same time, it's like, why did they save that for the very end?
Yeah.
I guess it's the one where it fit the most lore-wise, but at the same time, imagine if that wasn't, like, something they gave away beforehand. That would have been the most surprising Pokemon.
Definitely.
Wait, does it still have Imposter?
It sucks. No. There's no abilities.
I mean, no, I'm just saying, because I heard because now with, now that we know Scarlet and Violet is leaked, I gotta wonder if they kept the gimmick of the old Zoroark.
Let me look for you.
No, do not look for me. I'd like to be surprised when I eventually get jumped by one.
I'm just telling you its ability. That's all I'm doing.
It's not what I need to know, Cyan.
It's just, oh yeah, it does have illusion.
Okay, it does cool.
It doesn't matter. It's a returning Pokemon from Legends. It's not a spoiler.
I was just curious. But anyway, what I was going to say, though, was that I love all the new Hisuian forms. They're such a good touch. And then they kind of did the regional variant thing to all the trainers and gave them ancestors.
It was so cool. There's like one of, I think it was Archie or Max. I don't remember. It was one of them. And
yeah, on
like,
the paintings.
What the hell? Yeah, I was like, what? That's crazy. I mean, you obviously had the obvious ones, but then you had them, and I was like, what?
I saw that, and I was like, no, that can't be real. My eyes are deceiving me, and just kept going. Yeah. Because I didn't want to think about it.
You had characters like Wally, you had Professor Rowan as Commander Kamado.
Also, Mars turned into a Rezu, best girl of all time. No debate.
It's so funny, because the whole community, including me, we all loved Mars. And then they made a better Mars somehow.
They just made chill Mars.
They made overly chill Mars, and they made her thicker.
And they made me spend money on her full art Pokemon card and the Rainbow Rare. I'm a simp. I've fallen for the trap.
I don't know the artist who did this, but someone made art of like Mars going through her like old ancestor books, and like someone wrote notes about Mars or Rezu being thick.
Oh my god!
And all that.
I mean, I've seen the character design sheet for a Rezu. They know exactly what they did.
They know exactly what they did.
And they did it gloriously.
This could be for the bitch list video or podcast, but
yeah, that'll come in due time.
All right. I know we should probably wrap this up soon, but we need to talk about
Volo.
Wait. Before that, we got to talk. I don't know what to call it. I guess it's technically the darkest day, but for Sinnoh. You know when like the game tells you like the end is near, whatever that quest. That scared the shit out of me. I was so terrified.
They just kicked us out of the village, bruh. Come on, man.
That was the walk of shame. That was so terrifying. And the music was so ominous,
I couldn't believe what was happening. I genuinely was, like, so bewildered on my stream. I was like, wait, what is this? Oh. Yeah, I was like, that's kind of mean of them.
I thought we were playing, like, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. It was actually so scary. Like, it was dark.
Yeah, it was kind of, like, trippy how they just kick you out and you're just kind of stuck in the first area. You're like, well, that sucks.
And then you only have the support of not Commander Kamada.
The Adaman and Volo.
Adam and Volo, and then
I trusted you.
I trusted you, and then you have to use the Cyrus Descendants.
Silene, because Silene being on your side was a nice touch.
What was her ace?
Abra.
It was a Abra. Yeah, you had to use her Abra to like access your Pokemon and shit. I was like,
that was such a cool little detail. Like, I was not expecting to basically be fighting on the same side as like Cyrus for the end of the game. That was such
That's
a cool
crazy.
little
And then,
role
like-
reversal.
And technically, you're going against your professor in the futures. That's so
Not to
cool.
mention that you're technically working and are about to be betrayed by basically the strongest trainer in the history of the franchise. You don't even know.
You don't even know. It's so crazy. And then yeah, you kind of have to like go after the Lake Trio, by yourself. It's crazy. And depending on like who, like which admin or Rida, whichever one you pick, it depicts the legendary you have to fight. And then their ugly secondary forms.
Okay, I thought the origin forms were cool in a lore sense. I don't think they
They're
look
cool in a lore
like,
sense.
oh, you're gorgeous.
They are cool in a lore sense. Outside of that, yuck.
I feel like they could have done better with them, where instead of making them look like Arceus, they would have Arceus designs almost in a sort of form change similar to Mega Evolution. Like, what I'm saying is, like,
Yeah.
if they, instead of just turning them into Arceus, instead exaggerated the features they already had, like, make Dialga sharper, give it some sort of clock hand motif or something, and then
then make
give it the
Palkia
Arceus ring around the
smoother.
center, that would have been
Make
cool.
Palkia smoother. Make him smoother.
I was gonna say, give Palkia sort of like, oh, it's got like an orbit of planets or something.
Yeah. I don't know. They could have done a little bit more with it. I wish there was more like stuff regarding Arceus, like because you can tell within the designs that there was stuff regarding Arceus, but they just like
It's kind of
It's like they
background
gave
lore
lore-
that they sort of dropped the ball on, because I guess they just weren't ready
Right.
to commit.
they give the lore about Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina, but not Arceus until like the very end, and even then it's like, oh, actually, wait, I guess that was another instance of Pokemon talking. Arceus does speak.
Oh
to
yeah,
you.
you're right about that. It
That's
technically
cool.
came after Calyrex, though. Not
that's true, so
chronologically,
yeah.
but still.
Ha! Calyrex did it first. All right, Volo time. Let's do
Okay,
it.
Volo, I feel like I'm just going to be spitting what JPR already said in his video, but the fact that it starts, and you just are like, oh, it's Cynthia's ancestor, and it's using the opposite of her ace. I did not mentally register that until after I beat the game, and I was like, oh my god.
Oh. The hardest battle minus Ultra Necrozma in the game.
No. This is
Holy
the
shit.
hardest. I think it was more difficult than Necrozma. I beat Necrozma like third try. Volo, it took me upwards of 25.
I told you to stop saving. You had to level up, and you were so persistent.
I wanted to keep trying, darn it. But the thing is, just that moment of Giratina, when he just like, when that portal opens, you're like, oh my god.
Oh, fuck.
It was like a
No
string
healing.
of OFs. It was a string of them.
No, there was no healing. It was so cool. You beat Giratina. He looks like he's dead, and then the theme.
Dun, 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 dun.
With the guitar riff, it's like, oh
Fucking
no!
metal. And then he like breaks his neck. He's like, ugh, and they like red eyes. He's like, oh, you're fucking at it, bro. Origin form transformation.
That little
It's
sort of
just like,
moment where
why
it's like,
could-
it calls back to the alpha Pokemon. It's like, oh god!
Why couldn't this be BDSP?
Also, I would
I'm
like
so
to
glad we have this game.
specifically touch on the music. Oh my god,
Jesus.
Volo's theme is probably one of my favorite boss fight themes of all time.
I don't like go to listen to it regularly. But
I
like,
do.
Just, really?
Yeah, I sometimes
don't,
go back
but-
to it just to like re-experience the emotion. Because the way it recontextualizes what you know. You already know to fear that piano. But now with that
Yeah.
booming violin, you're like, oh. Oh, no, 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 no. Wait.
Stop!
Wait.
And they bust out Giratina after that like fucking champion level team right there. And it's just...
Honestly,
You know what I'm wondering?
the thing is, I even like the idea of it taking out the water Pokemon and replacing it with a fire Pokemon. That was such a good touch.
The Arcanine, yeah.
Yeah, the Arcanine replacing
Dude,
Milotic.
I'm wondering how the, like... And you can ask this for all the other characters. How did Volo make Cynthia? I'm wondering, like... Ain't no way he got out scot-free after that whole
I
thing.
mean, I'm pretty sure Kogita had big "the bloodline ends with me" energy. So, the thing is, I think it's supposed to be a red herring. I honestly think it could be either or. But at the same time, I've seen
Yeah.
some theories being thrown around that Volo is actually immortal. Because I've seen some people say that he spent a lot of time in the distortion world. There's no exact evidence to the theory other than saying, even if it takes me like 1,000,000 years or something to get his shot at Arceus. Like, which honestly,
Yeah,
I think that's definitely supposed to be like a hint for something going down in a modern game eventually. But what I've seen people
Sadly,
say is that he
theories.
might be like some sort of immortal being now due to whatever was going on with the Giratina.
It sucks. We're just left to theories on
Which
it.
I want to know. I want to know what happens to Ingo too.
Yeah.
Which as a brother myself, that hurts
oh my
me.
God. How did we forget to mention Ingo?
I was kind
Holy
of saving
shit.
him.
Dude, this podcast is gonna go on forever. Holy shit.
We can go to the
Ingo.
2-hour mark. I can live with this.
For once you allow it? Oh my God.
This Ingo specifically, because I've seen so many fan comics about Ingo and Emmett and all that. It's like, it hurts me. It hurts me so much.
I love how this like gives love to the Subway bosses. I know in Japan they're popular, but in America everybody hates them. And now I don't know, like
everybody loves them over here.
Now. Everybody loves them.
They added just enough depth. It was the perfect amount of depth. They just need to give them a little bit of trauma, and then ba-ba-ba-da-ba-bing-bo.
But bam! Now they're fan favorites.
Like, the whole thing with Ingo, and it's like, I miss my brother. It hurt. Like, he doesn't remember him. Dude, that hurts me. I don't know what I would do without Stoops. I genuinely don't know. Like, we don't talk as much as we used to and all. Because, like, brothers eventually, split apart, get their own interest and all that. But at the same time, it's like, I can't imagine a world where I can't see him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a horrible feeling for sure. Have you seen the art of Emmett looking at like a museum and you see Ingo's clothes there?
Dude, oh my God, that literally made like
up.
that melted my heart. It felt like it like tensed. Does that make any sense?
No, I get what you mean. You're just sitting there, just like, oh.
Oh, no.
Oh.
And there was this fan ongoing comic about specifically, it was like Emmett and Elisa and like a time-traveling Volo or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I need to find that again. I don't know where it is in my Twitter bookmarks. I want to know what happens next, but it was really good.
Yeah, there's just so much about Legends that like it puts into question about this series. It's definitely one of the greatest things that happened during the Gen 8 time.
No, the best. The best.
The best. Yeah, what am I saying? One of the best? It is the best game out of the Gen 8 games. And it just kind of sucks we had to wait till now to get it, but yeah, it's awesome. It's so great. I just wish it looked visually better, but otherwise it's a near perfect Pokemon game that everyone should try out.
Like, honestly, a lot of people say, oh, I'm just not going to get the older game after the new one comes out. Legends is the one time where I say it's worth getting it after the fanfare is over.
Right? I mean, we're not from the future. We can't say if Scarlet and Violet's going to be a good game. And, I...
Still got a week till that.
I can't say... Yeah, we have about a week. I can't predict. Even, I'm considering on getting in the game now because of leaks and all that.
I mean,
so
I already had it on pre-order for a couple months now. I'm just saying.
But, it's like... I still think you should play it. No matter what happens with Scarlet and Violet, definitely you gotta play it. It's so good. It stands on its own, too. It's not like one of those games where it's like Splatoon, where it's like, oh, God, the community's gone. There's no reason to play it. No, you can still play it. It's still a good game. I mean, it won't really matter now because we kind of spoiled the entire thing. But,
Whoops, my bad.
Whoops!
It's been a couple months. You'll live.
You'll live. I mean, the fun is in the gameplay. Like, that's the best part.
Exactly, because the thing is that it feels so different. Honestly, my only genuine fault I feel like I could give to the game in the gameplay sense is that it doesn't lend itself well to challenge runs.
Yeah.
It simply just doesn't due to the nature of the best way to get more EXP being catching Pokemon. Which
it sucks. I mean, it kind of works considering that it's so seamless to throw Pokeballs at Pokemon.
Exactly, it's a different kind of
easy
Pokemon game, so you can't really use the old challenge rules.
It's so different, and it's weird, and it's kind of hard to judge it. Yeah, but it's a cool kind of different, and it's like, because I nag on Game Freak for being like, wow, they're just using another game as a test run. But, this is the one test run where it felt, so meaty on its own that, it's just a good game. I don't need to justify it. It's a good
exactly.
Game. It's a perfect game.
Well, I wouldn't say perfect, but it's, the best that you can possibly get for a first go at this.
I would say it's the best Pokemon game on Switch until Scarlet and Violet.
Oh, yeah, definitely best on Switch for now. Although, I will say, while we're just on the topic of this, I just want to give a short shout-out to Let's Go. I know it's technically Gen 7, but it kind of feels like it fits with the other Gen 8 games. I just want to say it's better than a lot of people give it credit for. That is all.
I will say visually it looks great. Yeah, I feel it got nagged on for that, but it's like probably the best visually in the entire series until Scarlet and Violet.
I would not say it's the best visually by a long shot. But I feel like it's what BDSP should have been striving for.
You think Gen 8 looks... Or, sorry, you think Sword and Shield looks better than it?
I mean, honestly, kinda. I thought you were talking about the whole series. That's what you said, not on Switch.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so
I must have
I'm
misheard.
saying, like, out of the Switch games... since we're talking about Let's Go now, out of the Pokemon mainline Switch games, I think Let's Go looks the best.
I feel like the colors are, like, a little too plasticky for me. So I think a lot of stuff in Switch in particular does look really good. Especially, like, the battle arenas.
How about let's say battles then? Because battles definitely look better.
In battles, yeah, Sword and Shield looks monumentally better. But I think in terms of, like, sort of
What?
character
Wait, no, that's not what I meant! That's not what I meant
Sword
at all!
and Shield, yeah, the battles look great.
No, they do not!
No, they really do, especially with the backgrounds and all that.
Really?
I think the overworld is in particular where things falter a lot, especially in the wild area. But I think the battles themselves, especially when you're heated with the moment, a lot of the animations, especially the new ones, look really solid.
Bro, ain't no way you just said the backgrounds look good. They can't even get the backgrounds correct in certain areas.
The thing, I mean, okay, yeah, that was stupid. But the thing is that when they really put the effort into the backgrounds, you can tell and it shows. Like, all the gym leader backgrounds are really good. Also, not to mention, a bunch of the routes having their own individual backgrounds is a really good touch that nobody talks about.
I agree with the gym leader backgrounds. All the gym leader trainers just have a void, though.
I mean, yeah, that's not so great, but I feel like for what they were just trying to get done, like, oh, it's the inside of the gym. They could have done better, but it works.
They definitely could have done better. For, like, the specific ones, though, like you're talking about, those are good. I just mean, like, the random ones. The hot battles, though, there's, like, one hot battle where you're not even fighting them on a bridge, but the background's a bridge. And then there's one where you're on the bridge, but it's just a grassy land. And
that was a big screw-up that I'm shocked they didn't fix in a patch.
Yeah, to this day, it's still there. You can go back and look.
Yeah. Although, do you want to just wrap this up by touching on the spin-offs a bit? Because I feel like it's not a generation retrospective. We don't at least give them a little bit of a nod.
Shoot, you should have told me. I would have put these on the notes. Okay,
I did put them on my notes.
I don't have why didn't you tell me then?
I just want to just briefly touch on them real quick just to get them out of the way. Cafe Mix, nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Okay, so, Unite, and then I guess Camp. Are we talking about Camp as well?
Camp? What do you mean?
Or, sorry, it was that, like, Minecraft one. It looked like Minecraft.
I thought that was Gen 7.
Is that...
Was it Gen 8? I don't remember.
I mean, well, it's on the Switch, so I thought you wanted to mention it.
Yeah, it sure is a game that existed that I put too much time into.
I've never played it. Anyway,
Not
Unite.
worth it. Unite. I feel like Unite is probably the most divisive Pokemon game, as far as I can tell, in terms of just people. Because the thing is that people who like Unite really like it. People who don't like Unite are really against it. And then there's kind of me who's like, it's a fun game to play every once in a while, but it's not amazing.
I've not played it since last year, so I have no idea what they added to it.
Well, they power creeped everything.
Wait, what do you mean by that?
They power creeped every character from launch except for, I think, a few like Gengar are not as good as the new characters. New characters get paywalled for a week behind real-life money before they get up for coins.
That sucks.
Yeah, I know. They've really over-monetized it in a bad way. I still think the overall game, if you're just playing with friends, it's still a good time if you're not getting toxic. But as for a lot of the things, it's got balancing issues.
Man, that sucks. So they had a strong launch. Like, even me, I was playing it. Like, it had a really strong launch, and that's how they treat everybody.
Although I'd also like to touch on the games from previous generations that got updates. Masters, for example, has kept getting better with every update. I don't know how they do it.
Hey, that game's on the Switch.
Okay, I'm talking Gen 8 in general.
Awesome. Okay.
But yeah, like, Masters has gotten better with every single patch. We're gonna have a podcast eventually where we just talk gacha games, and, like, an hour of that is gonna be Masters. So,
I gotta say, real quickly, on the topic of Masters, when that game was revealed, I don't know how you were feeling, but like everybody was talking about Pokemon Sleep. I was like the only guy screaming about Masters, and I was so pissed because I was like, guys, what do you mean? This is the coolest thing ever. Look at it. They're finally giving attention to all these trainers. That's so cool. They're giving them special artwork. They're giving them voice lines. Nobody was talking about it. Everyone's talking about Pokemon Sleep, which to this day, they refuse to talk about. So there you go. That's what you all get for overhyping something that doesn't matter.
I know, right? Although I will say, though, Masters, it's had some moments where it has fumbled a bit of things with, like... Well, it's hard to say specifically, but it has had moments where it feels like, yeah, maybe this is a bit too pay-to-winny. Like, some of the extreme battles you need the new units to do.
I would definitely say some of the earlier events. There was an event with Gloria where if you didn't have Gloria or Raihan, you were fucked. But now, since then, unless it's like the extreme battles, which those make sense because they give you like 300 gems if you win them, which is a one free summon. So that makes sense.
Yeah, and they buffed a lot of old units too to make them still viable. Like, Skyla went from, I literally don't care about this unit to, oh wait, no, you're actually good? Oh, okay.
Well, no, Skyla was already broken before the
Really?
buffs.
I always thought she was just kind of blah.
She was one of the best free-to-play support units in the game.
Yeah, free to play.
Yeah, I'm talking free-to-play. She's one of the before even the EX and Sync Grid expansion, she was one of the best. Actually, why am I saying was? She still is one of the best free-to-play supports.
Yeah, I just
in the
thought
game.
she was kind of all right in general before I started actually power leveling her per your suggestion.
Yeah, it's probably because you have all your units under-leveled.
Actually,
so
no,
you
most of them
don't
are pretty
know.
darn high leveled. Most of them are, they're just not fully upgraded in their other stats. Anyway, I feel like we're spending too much time on Masters. We gotta save that for a separate podcast.
Yeah, okay.
Pokemon Go.
Sorry, I know we...
Oh, God.
We're not talking about Pokemon Go. Screw
No.
that. That's a whole
I just want to
other
touch
thing.
on this real quick. Pokemon Go got, like, really good. It got to, like, the best place it's ever been with, like, free remote passes and stuff in the middle of the generation. And then for the last while, they've kind of been dropping it off the face of the planet. I don't... Ugh.
That's fun.
It's kind of black.
Actually, we can segue this back into like Scarlet and Violet real quickly. So, can I talk about that?
Oh, we forgot to
Pokemon or
mention that
whatever?
in the news segment. Darn it!
Okay, I was scared to talk about it because you didn't want spoilers.
I knew.
But now it's like official.
Official
now.
reveals, I'm fine
Okay,
with.
so yeah. So for some reason they used Pokemon Go to announce this coin Pokemon.
Gimme
I don't know
Ghoul.
its name yeah, it's all right. It's okay. I don't have an opinion. on it.
Reddit
I'm gonna be real.
moment.
It's Reddit moment. It's literally a Redditor. It just exists. I don't care about it. If you guys like it, cool.
I think it's gonna be neat, and it's gonna serve no other purpose. Which is exactly what I want from a cross-promotion Pokemon.
It's not going on my team, and it's kind of weird that they use Pokemon Go to promote it. Anyway, I think that's it. We covered all our
The
bases.
last thing I want to touch on is specifically the TCG this year. Well, this year especially, but in Gen 8 in general, it's been really darn good. Like, the first year was just kind of okay, but years 2 and 3, especially the current ongoing block right now, have been really darn good with, like, alt arts and stuff. Just wanted to mention that because, trust me, if you aren't following the TCG, make sure to buy some of this year's sets before they go away. You won't regret it.
Definitely do that. And now I think we've covered.
Oh, me. Pick me, Captain, pick me. Yeah, I got nothing.
Oh God! Why'd you wait so long to say that? Oh my! End the damn podcast. I'm done. You're ending
Hey,
this
okay,
now. You gotta end it.
fine. Well, thank you all so much for watching this week's episode of Wooper Watch. It went on for way longer than it needed to, but hey, for as much as I teased it, it was bound to happen.
It's really funny. You tell me to hurry up, and now the one episode that it's 2 hours. You tell people, oh man, we can only be an hour long.
Yeah, I know. I think we should make these shorter, but it keeps happening.
That aged to like
Episodes
fine
keep
wine.
getting longer. Which, by the way,
Yep.
if you want to see more long episodes like this, make sure to subscribe to us here on YouTube. Drop a like while you're at it. Trust me, it's greatly appreciated. And leave a comment if you got any thoughts on the episode, if you want to see something next time, if you want to see the Quagsire dressed up as something specific. Well, you know, if you're on YouTube. And hey, trust us, we're working on getting this on Spotify eventually. We're working on it. It's just taking a bit.
if you're listening to this on Spotify, well, that's kind
Well,
of
time
awkward.
travel.
Time travel.
But yeah, that's gonna be it for today. Hope y'all had a great time watching, and have a happy Wednesday. Good night, y'all.
See y'all.